Here we are, guys, in part 2 of this story. What if Naruto was being trained by Madara and Hashirama? Please remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Now, let's begin. 2 years after the Hyuga incident, Naruto wakes up, gets out of bed and walks over to his sunglasses and picks them up. Why wear those sunglasses? You are the savior of the Hyuga clan's era, should you not look the part? Madara asks Naruto. He is right, Naruto, you shouldn't hold back, you are the sage of the Six Paths Reborn. Hashirama says. I refuse to have a weak host, even if you are just acting. I won't become the laughing stock of the Bija world. Kurama says, adding his 2 cents. Fine, if you insist, then I will not hide my Rinnegan, but I won't use my wood style or my paths, as they will be my ace in the hole against my opponents. Naruto responds. Then Naruto walks out of his room to see Hinata standing there. Morning, Naruto-kun. Hinata smiles at him. Ever since Naruto had started living with her, Hinata had become much more confident in herself. She repeatedly beat Neji in sparring matches and was on par with him in talent. Hinata had mastered rotation and has started learning 8 trigrams and has mastered 32 palms and started working on 64 palms. She had mastered 8 trigrams air palm and was becoming a true Juken master. Naruto had mastered Dragon Flame Caterwall, Great Fire Annihilation, Great Fire Destruction, Great Fireball Technique, Gun by Barrier Technique, Gun by Fant. Wind, Uchiha Return, Advent of a World of Flowering Trees, Wood Dragon Technique that he learned from Madara. From Hashirama he learned and mastered Hokage-style 60-year-old technique, Kaku and Entering Society with Bliss-bringing hands, Sage Art, Wood Release, True Several Thousand Hands, Quintuple Rashomon, Top Transformed Buddha Wood Release Secret Technique, Deep Forest Emergence. Hobi Technique, Hote Technique, Wood Dragon Technique, Wood Human Technique, Wood Clone, Water Clone, Earth Clone, and finally 4 Prison Pillar Jutsu. Naruto looks now like a blonde version of Madara. Naruto carries Madara's fan on his back, though it is much smaller. Naruto looks Hinata and smiles, holding out his hand. Shall we grab breakfast then head to the academy? Naruto asks. Yes, Naruto-kun. Hinata takes his hand and they both walk toward the kitchen. When they arrive they see Hiyashi, Hizashi, Hinako, Hikari, Hanabi and Neji are sitting at the table. Naruto, I was just about to wake you up. Hiyashi smiles. Good morning, Hiyashi. Naruto says good morning, Tosan. Hinata smiles. Good morning, Hinata Ne-chan. Hanabi says good morning, Hanabi. Hinata laughs. Are you and Naruto Ne-san really going to become ninjas? Yes, Naruto and I are going to be ninjas so we can keep the Hidden Leaf village safe and protect those precious to us. Hinata walks over to Hanabi and pinches her cheek. Like you, Hanabi-chan. Ne-chan, that hurts. Naruto, Hinata, we should probably get going soon. Neji says. Right, Neji Ne-san. Naruto says. Naruto grabs some toast and muffins. Then the 3 of them leave for the academy with Hinata holding Naruto's hand. On the way there people glare at Naruto, but then a few get bold and try to attack Naruto by throwing things at him, but he just dodges the objects like they are nothing. Then some villagers start getting out clubs to beat him with. By this point Naruto has had enough and reaches for his gun, by then swings it as a fan, creating a powerful gusts of wind, strong enough to blow away all the villagers. Excellent use of my gun by wind wall technique, Naruto. Madara looks on, very impressed with Naruto's progress. Demon Brat. One villager yells. Just then several Anbu and X-branch members jump down, forming a protective circle around Naruto, Hinata, and Neji. With the removal of the caged bird seal and the non-aggression pact signed with Kumo to never attempt to steal the Byakugan again, the Hyuga clan had become one big happy family. Are you alright, Naruto-san? One Anbu with a dog mask covering his face asks. I am unharmed, thank you, Inu-san. Naruto says. That's good. Just then Naruto notices Itachi standing in his protective circle. Weasel, shouldn't you be dropping off your brother at class? I was on my way when I heard a commotion, and the words that Hokage-sama has directly stated are forbidden, so I came to investigate. Itachi responds. Naruto-sama, you know Hiyashi-sama doesn't like it when you leave without an escort. One branch member says. Ko, how many times have I told you not to call me Sama? I am just Naruto. Naruto says in an exasperated tone. Old habits die hard, I guess. Ko scratches the back of his head. Tell Hiyashi-sama that I am fine and am not the little kid I used to be. I can defend myself just fine. Naruto indicates the crumpled civilians scattered in front of them. After Hinata-sama was kidnapped, Hiyashi-sama doesn't take any chances. Very well. Then the rest of Naruto's escort walks him, Hinata, and Neji over to the academy to see Sasuke standing there trying to get his fan club off of him. "Help me, Nii-san," Sasuke says when he sees Itachi. Naruto walks over to Sasuke and says, "Allow me." Gun by wind wall. Naruto swings the gun by again, blasting the fangirls away from Sasuke. Naruto then replaces it on his back, and offers his hand to Sasuke. "Thanks," Sasuke says as Naruto helps him up. "No problem." Naruto smiles. Itachi walks over and says, "Sasuke, you really need to learn how to beat off your fan club." Itachi laughs. "Not funny, Nii-san." Sasuke grumbles, then he turns to Naruto and asks, "What's your name?" "My name is Naruto Uzumaki and I am going to be the Hokage." Naruto says, "My name is Sasuke Uchiha." Sasuke holds out his hand to Naruto. "Nice to meet you." Naruto grabs Sasuke's hand and shakes it. "The four of you should get to class before you're late," Itachi says. Then the four of them walk away and Itachi watches as they walk into the classroom. Just then an Anbu jumps down from the roof. "Itachi-san, Hokage-sama has requested your presence," the Anbu says. "Right, thank you, Shark." Itachi then teleports away and reappears in the Hokage's office. "Itachi, what have you learned about your father's coup?" Sarutobi asks. "They plan to go through with it any day now," Itachi says. "I will call my advisors." Sarutobi then presses a button on his desk. "Please call in Danzo, Homura and Koharu, tell them that this is a matter of village security." "Yes, Hokage-sama." His secretary's voice rings out over the intercom. After a few minutes of waiting, Danzo, Homura, and Koharu walk in and see Itachi and the Hokage, and Danzo's eye narrows slightly. "What's this about Hiruzen?" Danzo asks. Sarutobi turns to Itachi and says, "Itachi, report." "Yes, Hokage-sama." Itachi bows then says, "My clan will pull their coup within the next couple of days. They believe that I have been gather information on the village's defenses and I have said that there is no lull time during the village's guard shifts. This is troubling news. Hiruzen, the Uchiha clan, really plans to rebel," Danzo says. "The most advisable action would be to wipe them out with exception of Itachi," Homura says. "I agree with Homura, Hokage-sama." Koharu says. "What about Sasuke and my mother?" Itachi asks. "They don't know about the coup or have a part in it. All the Uchiha must be wiped out so the seed of hatred doesn't sprout anew," Danzo says. "Please don't kill Sasuke or mother, they have no part in this. We shall consider your request." Itachi turns and shines out of the room. Itachi reappears on the Hokage monument, then sits on the fourth's head. "What should I do?" Itachi asks himself. "Do I just let my clan get themselves killed and just get Mom and Sasuke out of here? Or do I kill them myself and spare Sasuke and Mom my wraith?" Itachi looks up to the sky. "Of all the times I need your advice, I can't ask you, CJ-sensei." Just then CJ appears behind Itachi. "All you have to do is ask," CJ says behind Itachi. Itachi spins around, his sword in hand, then sees who it is. "CJ-sensei, don't spook me like that." "Sorry about that. So what did you need my advice on?" "My clan is plotting a coup and I don't know what to do. I think I should just hide Sasuke and Mikado and take care of the rest. It is better to listen to your heart and do what you feel is right." "Thank you, sensei." Then CJ stands up and looks around. "I must go, I need to get back to my paperwork." CJ vanishes. Just then Danzo appears next to Itachi. "We have made our decision. You have two choices, one, kill your clan and save your brother and mother, or to do nothing and let the coup take place and risk your brother and mother killed the crossfire," Danzo says. "I shall kill them." Itachi glares at Danzo then leaves. Danzo smiles to himself. "As soon as the clan is wiped out, I shall have my root agents collect the Sharingan of the Uchiha, then I will contact Orochimaru and begin the transplant." Danzo walks away towards one of his underground bases. Everyone is talking animatedly about starting classes. Naruto and Hinata are sitting next to one another and Sasuke is on Naruto's left, away from all the dreaded fangirls. "So Sasuke, who do you think our teacher will be?" Naruto asks his new friend. "I don't know, but I hope we just don't learn stupid stuff because we are ninja. We need to learn the hard truths of this world." Sasuke is right, but still some survival training would be very useful in case we are ever on a mission on our own and we need to camp for the night, Hinata says. Just then a man in a Chunin outfit and pineapple hair with a scar across his nose walks in. "Alright brats, settle down. Everyone keeps talking, so Iruka sighs and uses the evil big head jutsu and yells, 'Quiet you brats.' Everyone instantly shuts up. My name is Iruka Umino and I will be your instructor for the next 4 years. Just then another man with a bandana version of the Leaf Village's headband walks in. He has 2 large shuriken on his back. Mizuki, where have you been? Sorry, I am late, I had something I needed to take care of. Mizuki looks around and sees Naruto. So that's the demon fox brat. If I fail him, the council will reward me most handsomely. Well, now that you're here, Mizuki, why don't you take the boys for taijutsu training and I will take the girls out for throwing lessons. Mizuki nods and motions for the boys to follow him. When they were all outside, Mizuki looks over at Naruto and says, Naruto, let's see what you can do. Naruto drops into his Dragon Interceptor stance. No, Naruto, the stance is this. Mizuki shows a horrible stance full of openings. He is trying to fall you, Naruto, stick with what you know. Hashirama says. If you think I am wrong, then by all means, show me what you can do. Naruto smirks. Damn, if I say no he might get suspicious, and if I fight him using this horrible taijutsu I will look like a fool. Checkmate. Naruto smiles. Alright, Naruto. Naruto charges Mizuki, landing blow after blow as Mizuki struggles to land blows. Even with he switched to the correct style, he couldn't land a blow or predict Naruto's movements. What style is he using? I can't block him, he moves too fast and the power he uses is unbelievable. If this continues, the council will lose faith in me and my opportunity to capture the scroll of sealing for Lord Orochimaru will vanish forever. Mizuki leaps back and starts weaving hand signs ending with tiger. Naruto, look out, that's the fireball jutsu. Sasuke yells at his friend. Fire style, fireball jutsu. A fireball roars towards Naruto. My gun by Fen wall won't work, but maybe this will. Naruto makes the horse hand sign. Fire style, great fire annihilation. Naruto expels a massive wall of intense flames from his mouth, which covers an expansive range engulfing Mizuki's attack and sends it raging towards Mizuki. Crap, 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 crap. Mizuki thinks as the wave of fire roars towards him. Mizuki starts weaving hand signs as a high speed to counter it. Water style, water wall. Mizuki draws on the water nearby to protect him, however Naruto's attack blasts right through it. The attack sends Mizuki flying into the nearby stream. Mizuki wades to the surface. He is covered in burns on the outside. Mizuki is passive, but on the inside he is seething. How did he block my attack? No, he didn't block it. His attack drew some of its power from mine, but overall the attack blasted mine apart and then went for me. However, that doesn't explain why my water style didn't work. Water style is naturally stronger than fire style, so why didn't that work? Confused? Naruto smirks. That fire style jutsu takes at least 5 ranked water style jutsu to extinguish it. To use such an advanced fire style jutsu, I don't think I will be able to sabotage his training. I thought this was a taijutsu fight, not ninjutsu, however it seems I'm better than you at both. Don't underestimate me. Mizuki charges Naruto. Kunai in hand, Naruto grabs his gunbai and swings it. Gunbai wind wall. Naruto swings his gunbai again, blasting Mizuki away in a gust of wind. Mizuki, what is going on here? Iruka's group runs over. Naruto attacked me for no reason. We were sparring and he used jutsu on me. Only in self-defense. Kiba protests. Sasuke nods along with many of the other boys. What do you mean self-defense? Iruka asks. Mizuki was getting very angry that Naruto was outdoing him and he used the fireball jutsu, so Naruto in defense used a very powerful fire jutsu. Shino explains in his emotionless voice. What jutsu was it? The signature fire style jutsu of my great ancestor Madara Uchiha, Great Fire Annihilation. Sasuke says, looking over at Naruto with suspicion. Great Fire Annihilation? Iruka asks. Yes, it's a fire style jutsu that burns everything within the jutsu range. Sasuke explains. How did Naruto learn Madara's jutsu? Sasuke thinks. I guess I will have to ask him later. I saw a water attack. Am I to assume that was yours, Mizuki? Yes, Mizuki used water wall jutsu to try protect himself, but that particular jutsu takes several high-ranked water jutsu to extinguish it, so a B-rank water jutsu won't work. Naruto, how did you learn that high-ranked jutsu? Shit, what do I say? Tell him the truth. Hashirama says. I have always found that honesty is the policy. Great idea, Hashirama. Madara says, his voice oozing with sarcasm. And while he is at it, why not just yell at the top of his lungs, I have the wood-style Kekkei Genkai and no one can kill me. I bet you 1 year's worth of paperwork that he would be dead within a week at his age. Then say you can't tell him. Kurama says, yay, that will work. Naruto thinks. I can't tell you, Iruka-sensei, it's a secret. Naruto smiles. Okay then. Iruka says. Then he and the girls return to shuriken practice. Over the next couple of hours people go over a few basic taijutsu forms, however some went over their clan's fighting styles. Then Iruka walked over with girls and said, Mizuki, it's time for the boys to work on shuriken and girls will work on taijutsu. Right, boys follow Iruka, girls stay here. Naruto and the other boys walk away with Iruka for shuriken training. Madara-sensei, Hashirama-sensei, Kyuubi-sensei, should I use wind chakra to enhance my throws or just use my natural gifts for shuriken? Naruto asks. I say just throw the pointy objects. Kurama says, sleepily. Nicely said, Kyuubi. Madara says sarcastically. Yay, just throw the shuriken, don't show off too much in one day, leave some surprises for the rest of the 4 years. Hashirama says, laughing. Right. Naruto and the other boys take their turns throwing the shuriken. Out of the boys, Naruto and Sasuke tied for first. As the class goes on, Naruto and Sasuke tie for first in everything. After about 8 hours the class was dismissed. Naruto walked out with Sasuke and Hinata. Over the last 8 hours Naruto and Sasuke had become great friends and bitter rivals. The older shinobi joked they would be the next guy in Kakashi. Naruto bids Hinata and Sasuke goodbye and he tells Hinata to tell Hiashi that he was going to go for a walk. When Hinata and Sasuke leave, then Naruto starts walking when he feels a dark presence behind him. Naruto pushed his friends out of the way and turned to face his would-be assassin. The ninja had a dark purple kunai in his hand and he slashed it across Naruto's left eye. Take that, demon brat, now you die. At first Naruto thought nothing of the cut. While it stung, it was nothing to him. Just then his left eye started stinging and burning. Kid, it's a neurotoxin. Kurama yells as he starts purging it from Naruto's system. And a strong one at that. Naruto won't be able to use his left eye ever again. Hashirama says. Almighty push. Naruto blasts the assassin away from him with such force that it crushes his organs. Naruto clutches his eye as he feels the toxins dissolve it. Shit, Kyuubi, can you do something? I have already stopped the bleeding, so no need to worry, but nevertheless keep your left eye shut. Kurama responds. Naruto, I feel a lot of chakra sources dropping. Madara says, bringing Naruto to his attention. Naruto turns his head towards the sources of the chakra dropping like flies. It's coming from the Uchiha clan compound. Naruto panics. Sasuke. Naruto runs up toward the compound, leaping over trees and buildings to get to the compound before his new friend gets hurt. When Naruto arrives, he sees a massacre, dead bodies litter the ground, but what truly frightens Naruto is the fact that Itachi stands in the center, blood dripping from his blade. Itachi, why? Itachi, stop. An Uchiha says, glaring at him. Sorry uncle, but I want to. Itachi stabs the man in the heart, killing him. Itachi then sheds a tear at what he did. I have to stop him. Naruto thinks, then jumps down. Banshu Tenin. Naruto pulls Itachi towards him. Crap in a bucket. Itachi swears at getting caught off guard. Itachi, why are you doing this? Naruto asks as he holds Itachi floating in midair, unable to move. To test the limits of my abilities. Itachi says calmly, bullshit. Naruto says in retaliation. Itachi's eyes widen at Naruto's words. How so? Itachi asks, making sure his facade doesn't crack. If this was for personal gain, your heart would radiate darkness, but since it doesn't, I know this isn't for your own benefit. Itachi starts laughing slightly. I guess you figured me out, Naruto. I am doing this on orders from the Hokage. Then Itachi notices Naruto's left eye. What happened to your eye, Naruto? An assassin tried to kill me, but I managed to deflect the blow and it scrapped my left eye. The kunai was tipped in a deadly neurotoxin, however it was purified but not in time to save my eye. It dissolved. It's only because of the Nine Tails chakra that I'm not bleeding. Naruto, I can help you, but you have to let me. How? In my left pocket is a vial. It holds a Sharingan, the left eye of a very dear friend of mine who passed away not too long ago. It holds Shisui's eye and his Mangekyo Sharingan. This particular Mangekyo Sharingan possessed the most powerful genjutsu in existence. What do you mean? Koto Amatsukami, a genjutsu so powerful that it can manipulate your opponent by giving them false experiences, making it seem as if they were doing things of their own free will. It is regarded as a genjutsu of the highest class, due to the victim being entirely unaware that they are being manipulated. You would just give me that kind of power? Naruto looks at Itachi and suspiciously. You have inherited Shisui's soul. You and he share the same desires. You don't harm the innocent, and I can tell you would protect this village with your life despite the horrible things they have done to you. You're right, Itachi will defend my home from all invaders and bring this world to peace. Then I leave you Shisui. Just let me help you Naruto as I have done in the past. Alright, but no funny business. I promise I won't hurt you Naruto. Naruto released the jutsu that held Itachi captive. Then Itachi reaches into his back pocket and pulls out a vial with a Sharingan in it. The Sharingan is constantly switching between the regular form and Mangekyo. Naruto, open your left eye socket, I will implant the eye. Naruto nods and holds open his left eye socket to reveal the emptiness there. Itachi then opens the vial and grabs the eye and places it into Naruto's eye socket. Then when the eye is implanted, it switches to the Mangekyo Sharingan of Shisui, then it switches to Madara's, then finally switches to the Rinnegan. Thank you Itachi, just please don't kill Sasuke or his mom, I don't want them to die. I had no intention to, they are innocent of this, so they will live. Farewell Itachi, I will leave you to this and will keep quiet about it too. Naruto then turns to see Itachi on a telephone pole, darkened to a silhouette by the moon. Good luck in your path Naruto. Then Naruto jumps off. After a couple of minutes, Sasuke runs down the alley and sees Itachi in front of the moon, but it's only his silhouette, so he can tell who it is. When Sasuke stops and looks up, Itachi is gone. After a couple of seconds, Itachi in front of his house, taking a deep breath, he walks in and he sees his father sitting there. So you have decided to side with the village Itachi? Fugaku says, looking at his oldest son. Yes, I have, father. What have you done with Sasuke? He hasn't returned home yet. Sasuke is an innocent and will live. I see, and I assume you won't kill Mikado. Unless you told her of your plan and she sides with you, I won't. Even though I don't agree with your decision, I still support you Itachi. Itachi starts crying as the emotions of the night, then he runs his father through the heart. Then Itachi walks into the shadows drying his tears. Naruto walks into the house and walks towards the kitchen when Hiyashi intercepts him. Naruto, where have you been? I was taking a walk. I thought Hinata told you. Your walks don't bring you near the Uchiha compound. Hiyashi says, activating his Byakugan. Why were you there? I was taking my walk when Madara-sensei told me that he was sensing a large amount of chakra signatures dropping, and I sensed that they were coming from the Uchiha clan compound, so I rushed over as fast as I could. When I arrived, I saw that the man slaughtering the clan was none other than its hailed prodigy, Itachi Uchiha, killing his fellow clansmen. Hiyashi looks shocked at this news. Anything else? Yes, I had another assassination attempt. I managed to avoid a fatal blow, but the kunai was dipped in a very strong neurotoxin that dissolved my left eye. However, Itachi replaced with Shisui Uchiha, so I am all fine. Again, Hiyashi's eyes widen in surprise. Why would you ask Itachi for help? Hiyashi asks. I didn't, he gave it to me. Okay. Hiyashi looks confused. He isn't as mad as you think. But he was slaughtering his clan. Hiyashi-sama, what I am about to tell you is a S-rank secret that is never to be revealed. How did you learn it? Itachi told me. Alright, let's hear it. Not until we are in a place where we can't be overheard. Alright Naruto, follow me into my offices. I asked the 4th Hokage to place privacy seals that hide everything from even our eyes. Hiyashi beckons Naruto forward and then the two of them walk into Hiyashi's office. When Hiyashi closes the door, a bunch of seals spread around the room. There, now we can't be overheard. Itachi was ordered to kill his clan by the higher-ups. Why would they order such a thing? I don't know, all I know is that Itachi asked me to never tell Sasuke the truth. Hiyashi starts pacing around the room. Naruto, go to your room, I have things I need to take care of. In the morning, go visit Sasuke, I think he will need some help overcoming this ordeal and he needs a friend. Yes Hiyashi-sama. Naruto bows and walks towards his room. When he gets there, Naruto opens his door and walks in and sees a scroll with a small note attached. Naruto walks over and reads the note. Naruto, I forgot to give you notes on Shisui's eyes, so they are in this scroll. I suggest you ask Madara how to use the power of Koto Amatsukami. He will tell you how to use the unique power of the Mangekyo Sharingan. Best of luck, Weasel. P.S. While I want Sasuke to kill me, make sure he doesn't fall into darkness. My mom will help, but what he will really need is a friend who has had the same experience. P.P.S. I have left you notes on all my genjutsu. I feel they will be invaluable. Naruto opens the scroll and looks at the notes. Koto Amatsukami, my genjutsu, has the power to manipulate the mind of an opponent and give them false experiences. Several notes to be careful are included below. 1. This is a very chakra-heavy technique, so be careful. 2. Sensory-type ninja will be able to notice the power of my eye, so be careful when using this power. Also, holders of my eye can resist this technique, so you can't use it on someone who also has my eye. There, the recharge time of my eye is 10 years unless you have the power of Hashirama Senju, in which case it will only take 10 minutes to recharge. 4. Certain commands can be implanted into my eye for special circumstances. Once the command is activated, it will stay unless you remove it yourself. To input a command, you must enter your mindscape and access the eye's power directly. For commands, direct eye contact is required, but if you're just using it regularly, the eye can be covered and the jutsu will still activate. Finally, I hope you use the power of my eye to protect Konoha, and most importantly, when you have mastered my eye, destroy these instructions. I don't want this information falling into the wrong hands. Shisui Uchiha. P.S. Only for the holder of my left eye. Beware of Danzo Shimura, he is my right eye, so if possible extract my eye from behind his bandages and destroy the eye. I don't want that man in command of my eye. So this Danzo holds Shisui's other eye, we need to be careful of him. Kurama says. Naruto, I need to take over for a second. I am going to destroy the instructions, but don't worry QB, Hashirama, and I have all memorized the instructions and hidden it deep in your mind, so you don't need to worry about someone extracting it. Madara says. Alright Madara-sensei. Naruto responds. Then Naruto's eye switches to Madara's Mangekyo Sharingan. Amaterasu. Naruto, Madara says. Then the black flames spout onto the page, destroying it. Alright Naruto, get some rest, then first thing in the morning we go to the hospital to visit Sasuke. Hashirama says. Then Naruto lies down into his bed and closes his eyes and falls asleep. Sasuke starts waking up to the sound of nurses talking outside his room. Did you hear the whole Uchiha clan was murdered last night? One voice outside his room says. There are only 2 survivors. Sasuke and Mikado. A second voice responds. Kachan is still alive? Sasuke thinks to himself hopefully. Just then a voice Sasuke recognizes come from other side of the door. Let me in, I want to see him. I am sorry Mikado-sama, he is still asleep and he needs his rest. I don't care, my son is in there and I am going to go see him with or without your permission. Now let me see my son. Mikado snaps. Yes Mikado-sama. Then the door opens and Mikado Uchiha walks in. Kachan. Sasuke says, getting up and running over to his mother and hugs her, then starts crying. I thought Itachi killed you. It's okay sweetie, mommy's here. Mikado strokes Sasuke's head. Why did Itachi need to it, Kachan? Sasuke asks. I don't know sweetie. Mikado shakes her head. Damn it, Fugaku must have tried to go through with the coup. Itachi, I am so proud of you and I understand that you must be feeling unbelievable sorrow, but you defended the village and I hope that Kami-sama is merciful on you when you die. Just then 2 more voices Sasuke recognizes call from the other side of the door. Let us in, Sasuke needs his friends besides, and if you even dare calling me the name you're thinking, I will have you arrested for violating an S-ranked secret. Naruto's voice calls from the door. And if you don't let us in, I will introduce you to our clan's fighting style. Hinata's voice says darkly. Then the door opens and Naruto and Hinata walk in and see Sasuke and Mikado. Naruto, Hinata, you're here. Sasuke says in confusion. Yeah, we heard what happened and went to check on you to see if you were okay. Naruto says. I am really angry. That's understandable Sasuke, I know what you must be feeling. Naruto smiles at his friend. How, you never had parents? Sasuke glares. Naruto starts shaking with rage and looks Sasuke in the eye. You're right Sasuke, I never had parents and I never knew them. Naruto's look darkens. And as far as I know, they hated and despised me and just dumped me on the street after the 4th seal, the 9-tailed fox inside of me. Naruto roars back. Okushina, you would be sad to see what has happened to your son. They treated him like dirt and he doesn't even know that you loved him, you and Minato both. Mikado looks sad. The 4th did what? Sasuke asks, confused, all anger forgotten. He couldn't kill the fox, no man can kill a bijou. Naruto says. The same 9-tailed fox that attacked the village 8 years ago. The very same, the fox that killed hundreds of civilians and ninja alike. Did you ever wonder why I was glared at, called demon brat, fox boy, demon scum, and a series of even darker names that I dare not speak? To say that Sasuke was shocked was to say that Orochimaru was a pedophile. For 5 long years I lived on my own, trying to scrounge up enough food to eat a decent meal once every 2 days, and that was if I was lucky. I was beaten, bruised, poisoned, burned, crucified, stabbed and all before I could even barely walk. And don't get me started on the hospital. I have been here more times than most people will be in their lifetime, and the care I received here was abysmal. And that's putting it kindly. If not for the fox I would be dead, all because they all saw me as the fox's reincarnation and not a human being. Naruto glares, his Rinnegan glowing dangerously. I had no idea. Sasuke says, looking horrified at the things that Naruto described. Just then a huge flare of killer intent radiates around the room as it resonates off Mikado. Ka-chan. Sasuke says, unable breath due to what he was experiencing. Kushina and Minato would be ashamed of what this village has done. Mikado says. Who are they? Hinata asks. The fourth Hokage and his wife, my friends, they were very close to me. Mikado look over at Naruto. I can't tell Naruto who his parents were because if Iwa and Kumo got wind of Minato and Kushina's son they would call for his head. Kid, I have to tell you something. Kurama says. What, Fox? Naruto asks. I know who your parents were. Who were they? Naruto asks. Before I tell you who they were, I want you to promise me that you will not repeat this to anyone until you become a Chunin. I promise, Kyubi-ni-san. Your mother was my previous Jinchuriki, Kushina Uzumaki. That means that my father was the fourth Hokage. Naruto says, starting to shake as tears fall from his eyes. Naruto, if it's any consolation, they loved you very much. They even took my claw to the gut to save you. So you mean that my parents gave their lives so that I could live? Yes, kid, and with their dying breath they bid their final goodbyes to you. Kushina would visit me sometimes and we would have nice conversations, and she would, on occasion, let me play shogi with your father, who was an excellent player. I believe that our score was 55 games to 55, but that's beside the point. When your mother found out she was pregnant with you, she wouldn't stop talking about you, and she would going on and on how she would raise you, teach you all sorts of stuff, including the 3 ninja prohibitions. She loved you, kid, and your father was just as excited. Wait, didn't break out of the seal? No, I was ripped out. I was perfectly content with staying in your mother, but then that masked man ripped me out of her. Then Sasuke interrupts Naruto's thoughts. I am sorry, I said you didn't know pain. Sasuke says, it's alright Sasuke, I forgive you. Oh, and by the way, you can't tell anyone about the 9 tails. It's an S-ranked secret, and if you tell anyone who doesn't already know, you'll be executed. Well, you probably need your rest, Sasuke, so we will leave you. Hinata says. Yay, see you tomorrow, Sasuke. Naruto says, walking out with Hinata. 4 years passed from the beginning of the academy. Sasuke had become much more withdrawn from everyone around him except Naruto and Hinata, to whom he had grown quite attached. Naruto and Sasuke had really become like Guy and Kakashi, constantly trying to outdo one another. The academy teachers were really confused on who to give the title of Rookie of the Year to. On the day of the graduation exam, Naruto, Sasuke, Hinata and the other 27 people of their class, 20 of which were Sasuke fangirls. The only fangirl who really took some of her training seriously was Ino, but that was only because she was a clan heiress and she would one day take over the Yamanaka clan. Naruto walks over to Sasuke and sits down next to him. So team, who do you think our sensei will be? Naruto asks. Don't know, my guess that they will assign someone powerful to teach the last Uchiha. As to who that might be, your guess is as good as mine. Sasuke says. The only one I can think of that would fit the description would be Kakashi Hatake, son of the White Fang of the Leaf. What makes you think we will be on the same team? I asked Hiyashi-sama to pull a few strings, and even though we are tied for Rookie of the Year, we will end up on the same team. It also doesn't hurt that Kakashi requested us both as his students. Why did he request us both? The council ordered him to teach you, and he feels that he owes it to his teammate Obito Uchiha. Obito Uchiha as in my cousin Obito Uchiha. The same Obito Uchiha who died during the Third Great Ninja War? Probably, but who knows? Naruto shrugs his shoulders. My main concern is our third teammate. I really hope that it isn't one of your fangirls. That would be a very dangerous thing indeed. Sasuke looks scared at the concept. Well, if it's any solace, we know who it won't be. Who? Ino. She will most likely be paired up with Shikamaru and Choji as part of the Ino Shikacho formation. Joy. Sasuke rolls his eyes. Just then the sound of 2 girls running reaches their ears. Sasuke's eyes widen in fear. Just then Sakura and Ino burst into the room, trying to push past one another. "Ha, I win, Ino pig!" Sakura shouts. "What are you talking about, forehead? My foot is at least a centimeter farther than yours." Ino shouts back. "Oh my god, shut up both of you!" Naruto yells, his Rinnegan glowing dangerously. "Naruto, get away from Sasuke-kun!" Sakura shouts back. "Why would I?" Naruto glares back. "Because I said so, and you're not worthy to sit by him." Sakura brings her fist back to hit Naruto, but Naruto grabbed her fist and says, "Have you ever once considered Sasuke's feelings in this matter? Why would Sasuke-kun not want me sitting next to him?" Sakura glares. "Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that you annoy him with your constant yelling and the fact that you never leave him alone." Naruto responds. "Well put, Naruto." Sasuke responds, "Sasuke-kun." Sakura says, crying. Sakura, you need to understand that currently I am not looking to restore my clan. Sasuke then looks away, saying no more. Just then Iruka and Mizuki walk in, and then Iruka looks around at the near silent room in shock. Alright everyone, it's time for the graduation exam. One at a time I will call you and you will enter the room and perform the jutsu we ask of you. If you have any clan jutsu or other jutsu you will receive extra credit. First up we have Choji Akimichi. Iruka says. Choji walks forward towards the room for the examination. What do you think the jutsu are, Naruto-kun? Hinata asks. Probably the most basic of the academy jutsu. I swear it's like the civilian council is just trying to make sure that their children can make it through the academy and weaken our forces. That may just be what they are doing. Sasuke says that could be a problem. Hinata says. Over the next 20 minutes everyone went in and passed, and then Iruka called out. Naruto, Uzumaki, you're next. Naruto gets up and walk over to the room. Naruto walks in and then Naruto stands in front of Iruka and Mizuki and waits for instructions. First up, Henge, please take the form of the third Hokage. Henge. A cloud of smoke envelops Naruto, and when it clears, a perfect replica of the third Hokage. Perfect, Naruto. Iruka says, smiling. No, he is missing something. Mizuki says, oh, and what would that be? Iruka asks. Under Hokage-sama's left eye he is missing one liver spot. No, he is not. Naruto, you receive full marks. Next test, substitution. Mizuki throws a kunai at Naruto, but Naruto uses the substitution and substitutes with a chair under Mizuki, not only evading the attack but causing Mizuki to fall flat on his ass. Nicely done, Naruto, you passed the substitution test. Final test, the clone test. Mizuki says. This is bad. If Naruto passes this test he becomes a shinobi and my plan is ruined. Then Mizuki's eyes widen as an idea strikes him. I could use that Haruno girl, but if I do the civilian council will have my head. No choice, I have to use Sakura. I don't care about the civilian council, Lord Orochimaru's orders are more important. But Mizuki-sensei, I can't do the Bushin Jutsu. Naruto says. Maybe I don't have to use Sakura after all. Mizuki thinks in delight. I am sorry Naruto, but without the Bushin Jutsu you can't pass. Iruka-sensei, the test requires 3 clones, right? They can be any clones, but as long as there are 3 I pass, right? Yes, that is the test. Alright then. Naruto claps his hands together. Wood style, wood clone jutsu. Naruto's chakra divides into 10 wood clones that sprout from the ground. Wooden clones. Mizuki glares at Naruto in rage. I am sorry Naruto, but the test was to use the Bushin Jutsu, I am afraid you fail. No Mizuki, he passes as the test was just to make clones, and as there are 10 perfectly healthy clones here I has done more that is required but earned extra credit for displaying an unknown power of the first Hokage. He used wood clones. Well done Naruto, you have mastered my wood clone jutsu with supreme ease. Hashirama says to Naruto in barely contained joy. Thank you Hashirama-sensei. Naruto responds. I want to demonstrate something else as well. What do you wish to demonstrate? A very powerful water-style jutsu. Alright, let's see then. Mizuki says. Without a water source there is no way the demon can perform any water jutsu. Alright then. Naruto starts weaving hand signs. Water style, giant water vortex jutsu. Large amounts of water gathers from the atmosphere and then blasts Mizuki, drenching him to the point he is soaked down to his underwear. Fuck, 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 fuck. Mizuki yells in his head. Fuck in a bucket, that was impressive. Iruka whistles. Thank you Iruka-sensei. Naruto says. You pass Naruto. Iruka hands Naruto a headband. Naruto walks out smiling at his classmates. Sasuke looks over Naruto. What jutsu did they ask for? Sasuke asks. Transformation, substitution, and clones, you know the basic shit. What did you do to overdo it? Wood clones, then a very powerful water-style jutsu by pulling moisture from the atmosphere. So that's why I heard Mizuki-sensei scream and a rush of water. Sasuke laughs, then a thought strikes him. Wait, did you say you pulled water out of the atmosphere? Yes I did, I have a strong affinity for all 5 elements, as such I can pull moisture from the atmosphere in the case of a lack of a water source. It's rare for a ninja to be born with such a strong affinity for one element. How is it you have one for all 5? It is my eyes. The Rinnegan allows me to have an affinity for the 5 elements. That's quite the eye. Sasuke says. Sasuke, you're up. Iruka calls out. Sasuke stands up and walks into the room, to pass his test. Naruto looks at Hinata and smiles at her. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Hinata asks. Yay, I am just concerned because of what today is. What is today? This is when Hashirama-sensei and Madara-sensei return to the afterlife. Perhaps you could ask Lord Shinigami for more time for them. I will ask him. Naruto gets up and walks out of the room. When Naruto walks into the courtyard, CJ appears in a gathering of darkness. The time has come for Madara and Hashirama to return to the afterlife. Shinigami-sama, may I make a request? What is your request? I would like Hashirama-sensei and Madara-sensei to stay with me, and I would also like Kurama's yin chakra back. That's a pretty serious request. Why would you ask such a thing? I want to master the true power of the Nine Tails, and I think it's only fair that he gets his full power back. Dealing with only your yang isn't fair. Naruto, why would you do this for me? Kurama asks. Like I said, it isn't fair to deal with only your yang chakra. Alright, I will do it, but only because you asked so politely. CJ says, then reaches into his mouth and after a few seconds pulls out a chakra outline of a nine-tailed fox. Naruto, place your hand on the fox chakra and it will be absorbed into the fox. Then CJ smiles. Then Naruto places his hand on the yin and it absorbs into Naruto and into the fox. If you're really serious about controlling the fox's full power, you will need Hashirama and Madara for a long time to come. Thank Lord Shinigami. Naruto bows. You are welcome, Naruto. CJ smiles. Naruto then walks back into the classroom and sees Sasuke standing there with his headband on. You passed. Naruto smiles. Where did you go? There were some things I needed to take care of regarding you know who. Sasuke's eyes widen. Kit, we need to talk. Kurama's voice calls out. Naruto enters his mind and walks towards the giant cage where Kurama was sitting there. Alright QB, what did you want to talk about? It's time for me to tell you two things. One, my name is Kurama, and secondly, I am here to have you sign my Bija contract so you can summon me to battle when you are in need. Alright Kurama. Naruto smiles at Kurama. Then Kurama bites his thumb and slams his paw on the ground and a scroll appears in front of Naruto. Just bite your thumb and sign your name in blood and you can summon me for battle. What's the catch? Naruto asks, looking suspicious. Just change your mind up a little bit, make it a giant forest or something. Yay, a forest sounds good. Hashirama says. Madara just nods in agreement. Alright. Naruto says, then envisions a giant forest with a cave in the center and Kurama's seal changes into a collar. I guess the seal has to be represented somehow. Kurama says. Better than a cage, that's for certain. Naruto, as much as I don't mean to be a pest, but if Kurama gets a home, shouldn't we? Hashirama asks. Sure Hashirama-sensei. Naruto responds cheerfully, then he envisions a giant 4-story house with bedrooms, kitchens, a bathhouse, a library and scrolls upon scrolls containing Naruto's memories and jutsu knowledge. Nicely done, Naruto. Madara smiles in approval. Then Naruto leaves his mind to see Sasuke staring at him. Oi! Naruto! He shouts. What? Naruto snaps back. So you finally respond. I've been calling you for the past 5 minutes. What did you want to know? Naruto looks exasperated. I was wondering what you were doing. You had a glazed look in your eyes. I was having a chat with you-know-who. Oh, and what did he tell you? I got a new summoning contract, so that totals 9 contracts. Sasuke looks shocked. How can you have 9 contracts? It's not possible to have more than one. With the Rinnegan I can summon multiple animals, as could the Sage of the 6 Paths. Cool. Sasuke says, what other powers do you have? Well, I can read minds by ripping out a person's soul and extracting the information. I can repulse or attract objects, people, or even ninjutsu. I can form mechanized armor. I can revive the dead, but takes a lot of chakra, so I don't want to use it unless I absolutely have to. I can also absorb an infinite amount of chakra that could cancel a ninjutsu by removing the chakra behind it, and I can summon the King of Hell for interrogation and restoration. Nice. I also have the wood style of the first Hokage. Sasuke looks shocked. How? I am sorry Sasuke, I can't tell you that, it's a secret. Naruto looks down at his feet. I understand. Though I do have one question. Ask away. Where did you learn Great Fire Annihilation? I will let you in on a secret, but I want you to promise to not tell anyone. Naruto adopts a look of seriousness. I promise. Sealed inside of me are both Madara Uchiha and Hashirama Senju, who were given direct orders from the Shinigami to train me in everything they know, so I learned it from him. Sasuke looks shocked at this news. Why would the Shinigami order them to train you? I don't know. Naruto shrugs his shoulders. Well, I thank you for trusting me with this secret, Naruto. Sasuke smiles. Well, we should go home and get some rest for tomorrow. Naruto motions over to Hinata and she walks over and then the three of them walk home when a thought strikes Naruto. Sasuke, why do you bring your mother over for dinner? I will ask Hiyashi-sama if it's okay. Yay, that sounds like a good idea, I will go take to Kaken. Sasuke says and a smile on his face then walks off. Naruto and Hinata walk into the compound and see Hiyashi drilling Hanabi and Juken. Hinata, Naruto, welcome home. Hiyashi smiles at his daughter and adopted son. Hiyashi-sama. Naruto bows. Naruto, there is no need for such formality, just call me Hiyashi. Hiyashi, I was wondering if we could invite Mikado-sama and Sasuke over for dinner. Sure, that sounds great, I am sure Hikari would love to catch up with Mikado. Thank you, Tosan. Hinata bows then hugs him. 10 minutes later one of the guards walks in. Lord Hiyashi, Mikado Uchiha and Sasuke Uchiha are here to see you. The guard says. Send them in. Yes, Lord Hiyashi. The guard bows and walks out. When he walks back in, Sasuke and Mikado are behind him. Sasuke, Mikado, so glad you could join us. Hikari says, walking out and smiling at her childhood friend. Hikari-chan, it's good to see you again, we never talk anymore. Mikado smiles at Hikari. We should take a girls' night out sometime. Hikari and Mikado walk into the kitchen to start making dinner. Just then Neji walks out with his younger sister who was Hanabi's age. Yuki-chan. Hanabi says delightedly and hugs her cousin. Hanabi-ne-Yuki smiles at her cousin. Then they start running around playing tag while the others just laugh as they run around. Why don't Naruto, Sasuke, Hinata and Neji mess around a bit? Hiyashi says. I have some clan business to attend to. Hiyashi walks inside, then Naruto, Sasuke, Hinata and Neji look at each other. So what do you want to do? Naruto asks. Ninja tag? Neji suggests. Are you suggesting we throw kunai at each other? Sasuke asks. Do you have any ideas? Neji retorts. Sasuke scratches his head sheepishly. Ninja tag sounds like fun actually. Alright, who is it first? Hinata asks. 1, 2, 3, not it. Naruto shouts, not it. Hinata shouts, not it. Neji shouts. Not, shoot. Sasuke curses. I am at a serious disadvantage here, all three of them have a dojutsu and I have yet to activate my Sharingan. Sasuke thinks to himself. 10 minutes later, Sasuke is running around throwing wooden kunai at Naruto, Hinata, and Neji. They dodge the kunai skillfully, laughing as they ran around. 20 minutes later the game switched up with Naruto as the one throwing, however Naruto added wind and lightning chakra so it was extra dangerous as even the slightest scratch could prove deadly. During this game Sasuke awakened his Sharingan as the necessary stress to Sasuke to force activate the eye. When Sasuke activated his Sharingan he started to be able to dodge the kunai so he didn't get killed. After hours of playing ninja tag, Mikado and Hikari call out. Sasuke, Naruto, Hinata, Neji come in for dinner. The four of them walk into the house to see Hanabi, Yuki, Hizashi, Hinako, Hiyashi, Mikado, and Hikari all sitting at the table. Naruto and Hinata sit down next to each other, Neji sits next to his sister and Sasuke sits near Mikado. Everyone grabs chopsticks, and then claps their hands together. Aikata imasu. They all say as one, then they dig into the meal. Over the next few hours everyone is laughing and joking with each other, however the highlight of the evening was when Naruto's pranking nature got the better of him and he set off a low-powered paper bomb. That he set when Hiyashi went to the bather room, blowing up Hiyashi's food and sending it into his face. Hiyashi spent 20 minutes running around the house trying to catch Naruto with bits of dango covering his face while everyone was on the ground laughing until they were blue in the face. Hiyashi eventually gave up trying to catch Naruto because he was just too good at evading Hiyashi, but Naruto had a suspicious feeling that Hiyashi would try and get him back for this. After everyone had dinner they moved on to dessert which, much to Hiyashi's relief, went off without a hitch. After everyone had their fill Sasuke and Mikado departed back for the Uchiha clan compound. Hiyashi turned to Naruto, a stern look on his face. Naruto, what was that for? Hiyashi says. You were asking for it. Besides, did you see the look on your face? Naruto starts laughing, priceless. Naruto, don't ever do that again. Hiyashi says sternly. Oh come on Hiyashi, lighten up. Hizashi says, patting his brother on the back. Besides, the kid's right, that was hilarious. Maybe you would like to be the next victim of Naruto's pranks, then we will see how funny it is. Hizashi's eyes shrink in fear as Naruto's pranks are unpredictable, he never used the same prank twice. Just promise me you won't prank anyone from the Hyuga clan again and I will forgive you. Yes Hiyashi-sama. Naruto bows. Now go get some sleep, you will need it. The next morning Naruto wakes up and goes to the bathroom and takes a shower. Kid, we need to talk. Kurama says alright, what about Kurama? Naruto asks, it's about your chakra reserves. What about them? Hashirama and Madara have been looking through your DNA chain and what adverse effects their DNA has had, and they found something very interesting. What did they find? Your chakra reserves are right now above the Rakubis and approaching the Nanabis, and that is without my chakra added to the mix. If the calculations are correct, you will have chakra reserves to match mine by the time you turn 16. So today, after you learn who your sensei is, I want you to go to the top of the Hokage monument and pray to Kami and ask her to teach you creation of all things, so that way you can truly become the new sage of the six paths. Alright Kurama-ni-san, I will do as you ask. You know something, kid, you're so like the sage. He really was the first to speak to my heart, and you're the second. I guess those eyes of yours really let you get along with Bijou. Thanks Kurama-ni, you really are like the brother I always wanted. Even though Neji is like my older brother, you connect with me at an emotional level. I promise I will never do wrong by you. Naruto gets out of the shower and walks to his armor and puts it on. Naruto, we are going to need to find you a seal master so you can get chakra weights. Madara says. Yes Madara-sensei. Naruto leaves his room to see Hinata standing there like she does every morning. Good morning Naruto-kun. Hinata smiles. I hope we are on the same team. I do too Naruto-kun, but it is more likely that you will get one of Sasuke's fangirls. Hinata says sadly. Naruto shudders at the thought. Let's not such thoughts distract us. Naruto holds out his arm to Hinata, who takes it with a smile and blush on her face. Naruto and Hinata walk down the hall arm in arm. Neji walks out with a groggy look on his face. Morning Neji-ni. Hinata smiles. Morning Hinata, Naruto. Neji says, rubbing his eyes, then he looks at Naruto. Did you leave any hot water? Yes I did. I knew you had a C rank today, so I used cold water but heated it with my chakra, so only the cold water drained slightly. Thank you Naruto. Neji treks off to the shower, rubbing his eyes as he goes. Naruto, did you really leave hot water for Neji-ni? Hinata asks. Yes. Naruto replies honestly, then he looks at her. I promised Hiyashi that I wouldn't prank any Hyuga ever again. I never go back on my word, cause that's my nindo. Hinata smiles, and then she and Naruto walk off to the academy. When they arrive, Sasuke is sitting in his patented Uchiha Avenger pose. After 20 minutes everyone has arrived and the Uchiha fangirls glare at Naruto and Hinata for sitting near their Sasuke-kun. Get away from Sasuke-kun. A random civilian council member's daughter yells at Hinata. Yay you Hyuga bitch, get away from Sasuke-kun and don't think you can seduce him with your Hyuga ways. Another girl says. At that moment Naruto's chakra flares dangerously. Take that back. Naruto's chakra keeps rising, but Naruto stops flaring when he reaches the Sanbi in pure chakra. Go ahead, threaten me all you like. My father is on the civilian council. I could get you kicked out of the village in a toss of my hair. An invisible pressure presses down on all of them as it emulates from Naruto. The walls and tiles start cracking around him. It seems that you finally realized it. Naruto grins. My chakra levels are on par with the Nanabi. In case you weren't paying attention to Iruka-sensei's lesson on the nine-tailed beasts, that means my chakra is near infinite levels. I am sure you have heard of Kisame Hoshigaki. Who hasn't? He is an S-ranked missing ninja from the Hidden Mist village. Do you know his nickname? No, what? Sasuke asks. The tailless-tailed beast. His chakra levels are on par with the Nibi or two tails. My levels are at the Nanabi or seven tails. The Nanabi is 10 times stronger than the Rakubi, 100 times stronger than the Gobi, 1000 times stronger than the Bi, 10,000 times stronger than the Sanbi, and 100,000 times stronger than the Nibi. So what? The Uchiha fangirls yells. I am done talking to you. Naruto turns away from the girl just as she is about to retort. Iruka walks in and everyone shut up in fear of his big-headed jutsu. Alright, I am so glad that none of you failed. Iruka smiles. Where is Mizuki-sensei? Sakura asks. He was arrested attempting to steal the forbidden scroll. Iruka looks away sadly. To think that my friend would betray the leaf. So that is why he was trying to fail me, so he could get me to take the scroll, then he would kill me, take the scroll and be hailed as a hero. Anyway, that's not important. What is important is who your teammates are. Iruka pulls out a list. Team 1 will be. Team 7 will be Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki, and Hinata Hyuga. Naruto looks at his friends, a great smile on his face. It seems we will all be on a team together. Hinata smiles back. Sasuke just smirks and responds with a trademark HN to keep up his emo Avenger around his class. Teammate will be Sakura Haruno, Kiba Inuzuka, and Shino Aburame. What? Sakura shouts at the top of her lungs. Everyone clutches their ears in pain and Akamaru howls in agony. Why can't I be with Sasuke-kun? Because Team 7 Sensei requested all three of them, and that's the last I want to hear from you on the subject, Haruno. Iruka yells, and then he clears his throat. Team 9 is still in circulation, so Team 10 will be Ino Yamanaka, Choji Akimichi, and Shikamaru Nara. No. Why am I stuck with the lazy jerk and the fat ass? Why can't I be with Sasuke-kun? Ino whines. Naruto looks over at Sasuke and Hinata. Well, I can say without doubt that we are going to be the best Genin team out there, Naruto says, then flash a toothy grin. What would ever make you say that? Sasuke asks sarcastically. Sasuke, don't be mean. Hinata scolds. Meanwhile, in Hinata's head, a small chibi Hinata is dancing around holding a sign saying "Thank you, Kami." Little does she know that Sasuke's inner chibi and Naruto's are doing the same thing. Who is our sensei? Ino asks. Sensei of Team 7 will be Kakashi Hitake, Sensei of Team 8 is Kurana Yuhi, and the Sensei for Team 10 is Asuma Sarutobe. Iruka says. Alright Sasuke, Hinata, if you need me I am taking a nap. Naruto says, closing his eyes. And if I were you I would too, because Kakashi is usually 3 hours late to everything. Naruto falls asleep, and after a few minutes Sasuke shrugs his shoulders. Why not? Besides, I could always use a good nap now and again. Naruto looks around and sees the forest of his mind. Wonder what the fox wants to talk about? Naruto wonders, then starts walking forward. Harder, Kurama-kun. A female voice yells out in pure ecstasy from the back of the cave. Good Kami, you're tight. Kurama's voice grunts in response. Naruto walks forward really confused, and to his horror sees Kurama with a more human form with red hair, his typical nine tails behind him, and a red goatee on his bed, fucking none other than Kami herself. Faster, harder, make me scream. Kami says. Your wish is my command. Kurama responds, thrusting harder and faster while nibbling down on Kami's left nipple and cycling it with his tongue. Holy fuck, Kurama! Kami screams. Aren't I already doing that? Kurama jokes, his hand pinching Kami's other nipple. Kurama, I am coming. Me too, Kami. Kurama lets loose a huge roar that shook the cave as his seed blasted into Kami as she clamped around him and let loose a scream. Kami rolls over next to him and looks at him, sweat dripping down her face. Good God, Kurama, no matter how many times we do that, it never ceases to amaze me just how much stamina you have. The benefits of being a bijou, baby. Kurama smiles, then he notices Naruto standing there. Oh crud. Naruto stands there in shock as what he just witnessed, then he runs off towards where Hashirama and Madara make their home. Kurama sighs, better make yourself decent, Kami-chan, and later I will have to ask Madara and Hashirama for help giving Naruto the talk, because you know I will need it. I will see you later, Kurama-kun. Kami kisses her lover on the cheek, then walks over to where her outfit was discarded all over the floor. When Naruto walks in, Hashirama and Madara are looking over scrolls when they hear Naruto walk in, a look of horror on his face. They walk over to him, concern plastered on their face. Naruto, what's wrong? Hashirama asks. Kami, Kurama. Naruto shudders at the memory and curls up into a ball and does the only thing a kid can do when they are overwhelmed, he cries. It's okay, Naruto, we're here for you. Madara says as he sits down next to Naruto and puts his arm around him. Hashirama sits down next to Naruto and places his hand on Naruto's shoulder. That's alright, Naruto, let it out. Hashirama says, looking at Madara, and picks up a rock and carves a message on it and hands it to Madara, which reads, We are going to have the talk with him. Madara nods. After a few minutes, Naruto finally calms down and walks out towards the huge lake that represented his chakra and starts throwing stones into it. After a few minutes, Kami walks up behind Naruto, a look of concern on her face. Naruto, I am sorry you had to see that. Kami says, sitting next to him. Are you okay, Naruto? I'm okay, Kami-sama, just next time could you give me a little warning, like a sign or something? Kurama-kun said you had something you wanted to ask me. Yes, I would like you to teach me the creation of all things. Well, if you're going to be the new sage of the 6 paths, I guess it makes sense to teach you that technique. What do I need to do? This technique is very simple but not without dangers. Kami holds out her hands and a blue chakra in her right and a red in her left. This technique separates your yin chakra from your yang chakra. This brings what you imagine to the plane of reality. What is the risk? If you have any stray thought, that thought is brought forth too, and I mean any. Alright, what do I need to do? Just watch, it should come naturally. Kami then closes her eyes and a boot appears. Oh, I get it now, let me try. Naruto holds out his hands, focusing. At first nothing happens, but after a few minutes of concentrating, the blue fire of yin chakra appears in Naruto's left hand, and then the red fire of yang appears in Naruto's right hand. After a few seconds, a perfect replica of Hinata, Neji, Hiyashi, Hikari, Hanabi, Yuki, Hizashi, and Sasuke appear in front of them. Naruto then drops to one knee, sweating wildly. The lake behind Naruto drops dramatically to the size of a small pond. It seems that even with your incredible chakra reserves, that creating larger objects, you can't make more than 8 without dropping from chakra exhaustion. I hope I can make more sooner or later. Naruto huffs. Don't worry, with more practice you could create an entire mountain range without the slightest strain on your chakra. However, I don't recommend you practice every day, as that could put you to the hospital, so I say practice at the most 3 times a week, and don't bother using shadow clones. Even if you make only one, it won't have enough chakra. Thank you, Kami-sama. Naruto bows as best he can. Kid, if you need my chakra, feel free. I will slowly replenish your system so nobody starts thinking I am trying to take over. Kurama voice calls from his cave. Thanks, Kuramani. Naruto leaves his mind. Naruto's eyes snap open and he looks over at Sasuke to see him looking at Naruto. What's wrong, Naruto? Sasuke asks. Naruto looks confused. What do you mean? Naruto asks. You were crying in your sleep and shaking like a leaf. Are you okay? Yay, I'm okay. I just saw something I wish I didn't. You want to talk about it? No, if I do I will probably break down again. Anyway, I just about to wake you up as. Alright, thanks, Sasuke. Naruto then turns his head towards the door as he senses a large chakra signature. Just then the door opens and Kakashi sticks his head in. Well, it's about time you showed up, Kakashi Hitake. I was starting to get bored waiting for you. Naruto looks at Kakashi. My first impression is you're boring. Kakashi says. Meet me on the roof in 3 minutes. Kakashi shines away. Naruto looks at Sasuke and Hinata, then crack a smile. Last one there has to buy lunch. Naruto says and runs off. Sasuke runs after him, shaking his head with a tick mark on his head. Oh no, you don't. Get back here, Naruto. Hinata jumps out the window and runs up the walk towards the roof. A couple minutes later, Naruto runs onto the roof and Sasuke just behind him, both glaring at one another. I guess Hinata is buying lunch. Sasuke says. No, you're Sasuke. Hinata calls from the railing that she was sitting on. Kakashi raises his eyebrow at his genin. Well, it would appear stamina-wise Naruto has the most, but then again he has extraordinarily high chakra levels. Sasuke looks like he and Naruto are on par, and Hinata ran up the side of the building to take a shortcut, which means she has incredible chakra control, but then again that's no surprise as she is a Hyuga, so chakra control was probably never an issue, but for such a young age she has incredible reserves. Kakashi thinks to himself, gauging what he would need to work on assuming they pass their test. Well, now that we are all here, why don't we introduce ourselves? What do you mean, sensei? Sasuke asks. You know, your likes, dislikes, and dreams for the future, that sort of thing. Why don't you go first so we get an example of what you expect? I'm Kakashi Hatake. I have no desire to tell you my likes and dislikes. My dreams for the future. As for my hobbies. I have lots of hobbies. All we got was his name. All 3 of his students face fault. You go first, you Hyuga. Well, I like flower pressing, Naruto-kun, my mother, my father, my uncle Hizashi, my aunt Hinako, my little sister Hanabi, and my cousin Neji-san. I don't like people who judge others before getting to know them. My dream is to help Naruto-kun walk the world down the path of peace and then get married to Naruto-kun. Alright, you next, Blondie. Kakashi says. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. My likes are Hinata-chan, Hokage Jiji, Madara-sensei and Hashirama-sensei and Kyubi-ni-san. My dislikes include a lot of people in this village because they treat me like dirt and people who judge before getting to know someone. My dream is to become Hokage and lead this village to a new era of peace, like the Rikudo Sennin wanted to but never got the chance. Alright, last but not least, Uchiha. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. Hate a lot of things. I like my friends Naruto and Hinata, and my mom, and what I have is not a dream because I will make it a reality. I'm going to restore my clan and destroy a certain someone. So an Avenger, a Sage Reborn, and a Hyuga with much to protect, they all seem to fight for something other than themselves. To a degree they might just be the team that passes. Kakashi thinks to himself. Alright, tomorrow we will meet at Training Ground 7 at 6 AM for our first mission. Kakashi says. What kind of mission? Naruto asks. If I tell you, I can guarantee you won't like it. Tell us, Kakashi-sensei. Hinata says. A survival exercise. However, this survival exercise has a 66.6% chance of failing, meaning of the 27 graduates only 9 will make it onto a squad. Kakashi then turns to his students. I have to pass or I can't kill Itachi. Sasuke thinks, then he looks over at Naruto and Hinata. However, I have good teammates, so I don't think I have anything to worry about. If I don't pass Hinata-chan and I will be separated, and I won't let that happen. Naruto thinks. Naruto-kun, Sasuke and I can take anything. After all, we have a Sharingan user, my Juken, and the power of the Sage of the Six Paths and the wood style of the Shodaime. We won't fail. Naruto, Hinata and Sasuke say at the same time and glare back at Kakashi. Is that confidence or bravado? Confidence is good, but bravado gets Shinobi killed. But should we fail? Naruto starts. We fail as one, as a team. Hinata continues, because we don't abandon our comrades. Sasuke finishes. Kakashi looks at Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke. Scratch that, they already passed, but I will just mess with them, but I need to be careful. Naruto has the Rinnegan and the wood style of the first, and Kami knows what else. Coupled with the fact that I know next to nothing about the Rinnegan or its abilities, Naruto alone is dangerous, but with Hinata it's worse, as close quarters combat with a Hyuga is suicide, and if Sasuke has his Sharingan, he might be able to read and predict my movements and his can be deactivated. I think these guys might just be the rookie squad of the year. Kakashi smiles under his mask. Alright, oh, and by the way, don't eat breakfast, you will throw up. Kakashi shines away. So let's go grab lunch, and Sasuke, you're paying. Naruto smiles. The three of them walk off towards a dango restaurant. The owner welcomes them but then sees Naruto. Uchiha-sama, should I get rid of that brat for you if he causing you problems? The owner asks. Sasuke looks at the owner with a dark look on his face. That brat, as you call him, is my friend, and if you so much as sneer at him, I will have you thrown in jail faster than you can say Sharingan. Sasuke growls. But Uchiha-sama. Hinata walks up with a sickly sweet smile on her face. I would really appreciate it if you would let us sit down and have our meal as a team. The owner starts sweating up a storm. Of course, Lady Hyuga. The three of them walk over and sit down and place their orders. So what do you know about Kakashi, Naruto? Sasuke asks. Not much other than what I already told you, and he has a kill on contact order for the Mist Assassination Group. So do you think we should disregard his advice not to eat breakfast? Hinata asks. It's the most important meal of the day, you shouldn't squander it. Besides, we will need all the energy we can get to face a Jounin. Are you going to do what you normally do with enigmas, Naruto-kun? Yay. Am I missing something here? Sasuke asks, confused. When Naruto is confused or needs more information on something, he visits the Hyuga clan library and sorts through history books and bingo books to find out what he can. Hinata says. While they sit down and eat their lunch and just enjoy each other's company, after about 20 minutes Naruto gets up and turns to Hinata and Sasuke. I have to go, I have Fuinjutsu lessons. Since when are you learning Fuinjutsu? Sasuke asks, confused. Remember that time Training Ground 22 burned down and no one knew why? Yay. Hinata says, confused. That was because I was fighting a certain white-haired pervert that was peeking on you and many other women. What? Hinata's look darkens. Flashback 3 months ago. Naruto is in a bathing suit soaking wet and is standing towards the edge of the water of the Konoha bathhouse. Okay, I almost had it that time, just a bit more and I should have it. Naruto focuses his chakra into his feet and walks forward onto the water and stands there for a couple of minutes. So far so good, now let's walk around on it. Naruto starts pacing around the pool, a grin on his face. Alright, now for some jutsu as well as shuriken dodging. Naruto puts his hand together in the cross seal. Shadow clone jutsu. 10 Naruto clones surround him. This time none of them have the Rinnegan. They all surround Naruto and start chucking shuriken while Naruto dodges the attacks and maintains the chakra required to walk on water, and then several clones rush in and engage Naruto in taijutsu while practicing the water walking to help Naruto out. Meanwhile, Kurama, Hashirama and Madara are observing Naruto's progress through the 3 remaining clones at the edge. Excellent work, Naruto, your chakra controls is fantastic for someone with so much chakra. Kurama says. I say his chakra control is just as good as mine was before I died. Hashirama says, looking at Madara. His control is great. He might be able to learn medical ninjutsu if we could find him a suitable teacher, as neither of us can use chakra since we are dead. Madara nods at Naruto's progress. Maybe your granddaughter, Tsunade. If Naruto can survive her temper, I think she could make a fine teacher. When Naruto defeated all his clones, he looks over at the three by edge. How did I do? Naruto asks. I think you mastered this chakra control jutsu. Madara says. Then the Madara clone, Hashirama and Kurama clone dispel themselves. Naruto walks over to the towel he had and dried himself off. Then he hears a perverted giggle by the women's side of the hot spring. Naruto gets back into his armor and walks out to see Jiraiya, who is holding a notepad and pencil, and he is writing things down on the pad, then giggling again. Naruto walks out of sight and holds his hand out. Universal pull. Naruto whispers and the man goes flying back towards Naruto. He would have screamed, but that would have given away his position. What's the big idea interrupting my research? Jiraiya asks, annoyed. First off, my girlfriend is there, and as an FYI, you don't want to make her mad. She is a Hyuga. Just who the hell are you anyway? Jiraiya starts swinging his hair around. I'm glad you asked. I am the hermit of Mount Myaboku, the wise and immortal spirit. That's right, it is I, the Toad Mountain Sage. Jiraiya finished his small little dance. Kit, I recognize that old geezer. He was supposed to be your godfather. I was listening, and when Minato and Kushina assigned him the position. Kurama says. What's his name? Jiraiya of the Sannin. Naruto's eyes narrowed dangerously. Toad Sage. Exactly. So what the hell were you doing peeping at women in the bathhouse? Naruto gets a cold look on his face. I was doing research, which you very unkindly interrupted. Research? Naruto asked, his eyes closing as he debated whether or not to kill the man in front of him. You see, I'm a novelist, I am a writer of great books. He pulled out a book with the title Make Out Paradise, like this. Kid, I recognize that book. You know about it, Kurama? Yay, apparently Kami-chan got a lot of ideas from those books. I grew suspicious where she got these ideas, and I did a bit of searching, and after examining Kushina's memories I learned much about these books. Kurama sends Naruto images of what he learned. Wah, you wrote that? Naruto said. Yes, I see you know it, Jiraiya said. I'm already famous, it's not even out in paperback yet. You call that pervy trash a novel? Naruto said when he went ballistic. Research? Yeah, right. Just an excuse to peek at girls in the bathhouse. Naruto starts breathing in and out to control himself. Dirty old man. Naruto mutters under his breath. Unfortunately, Jiraiya heard him. You, little, there's nothing dirty about it. I happen to be a serious artist who's inspired by youth and beauty, that's all. Well, listen, Jiraiya, or should I say Godfather. Naruto's eyes snap open, giving him a death glare oozing with malice. Note to self, do not piss off Naruto. Kurama thinks to himself. Godfather, the only one who could call me that was Naruto, and he. Jiraiya notices the look of Naruto's face and hair. Then an after image of Kushina and Minato appear behind Naruto, and slowly Jiraiya analyzes as the hairs mix together. Kushina's hair starts spiking like Minato's, then turns blonde. Needless to say, Jiraiya added 2 and 2 pretty fast. Oh crud, I'm dead. That's definitely Minato and Kushina's kid. If Minato finds out I forsaked my duty, he'd kill me. I really hope he didn't inherit his mother's temper, because that coupled with this massive chakra I'm sensing. Then Jiraiya notices Naruto's eyes. Those eyes, they're just like Nagato's, the Rinnegan. Then Jiraiya's pupils shrink in fear. Well, listen, Godfather, the friend in my head is telling me you're a good Fuinjutsu user. Friend his head? Oh no, he has to mean the 9 tails. Jiraiya starts panicking. Yes, I am a good Fuinjutsu specialist. I taught the 4th Hokage a lot, but compared to an Uzumaki, I'm a novice. I see, and then I would like to learn Fuinjutsu as well. Absolutely not. You distract me from my research and then you expect me to teach you. You're absolute out of your mind. How about a bet then? A bet? Yes, I challenge you to a fight, no holds barred. I win, you train me, and if you win I will do whatever you ask of me. Deal, kid. Naruto holds out his hand. Shake on it. Jiraiya holds out his hand and shakes Naruto's hand. Let's take this somewhere else. After all, I don't think either of us want collateral damage. Let's go to training ground 22. Do I really use Sage Mode on him? Well, he did say no holds barred, and with the Rinnegan he could be very dangerous, and he has enormous chakra. A battle with him could last for a long time. Jiraiya is a Sannin, which means he is above cage level, which means that I will have to use my paths and any other jutsu in my arsenal to defeat him. When Naruto and Jiraiya arrive at training ground 22, Jiraiya claps his hands together and stands there. If you don't attack, I will. Just give me a movement, I promise it will be worth your while. Jiraiya starts gathering his chakra to summon Fukasaku and Shima. After a couple of minutes, two plumes of smoke appear on Jiraiya's shoulders and he transforms and enters his sage mode. "Jiraiya boy, why did you call us here?" The toad with white hair on his left shoulder asks. "I was making lunch." The other toad says. "I am sorry Ma, Pa, but my opponent has the Rinnegan." The sage's eyes? The white-haired toad says, his eyes wide in shock. "Yay! Are you ready?" Naruto asks. "Yeah, let's get started." Jiraiya charges Naruto and starts throw blow after blow, though Naruto blocks them attack for attack. This goes on for 45 minutes. He can not only block my attacks but counter them and leave quite the bruise. Naruto is good, no doubt about it. Jiraiya thinks as he carefully observes Naruto's movements. After a few more minutes of fighting, Naruto jumps back, then starts weaving hand signs. Fire style, great fire annihilation. Naruto exhales a huge plume of fire that burns everything around him. Jiraiya jumps off to the left to avoid the blast of flame. Sage art, bath of boiling oil. The bath of boiling oil blasts towards Naruto. Naruto leaps out of the way and charges in and starts striking Jiraiya with high-speed blows and kicks. Jiraiya jumps back and starts weaving hand signs. Fire-style dragon flame bombs. Jiraiya exhales a huge blast of fire. Naruto starts weaving hand signs. Water-style, water wall. Naruto spits out a huge blast of water. Jiraiya's eyes widen in shock. To use such a powerful water-style jutsu where this is no water, only the second Hokage could do that. Naruto starts weaving more hand signs and inhales deeply. Combination wind and fire style, great dragon's breath. Naruto exhales a huge blast of fire 10 times larger than grand fire annihilation. Jiraiya uses a substitution jutsu to dodge the attack. The fire jutsu encamps the entire training ground, reducing it to ash in seconds. Jiraiya looks behind him and sees that there is nothing left of the training ground. "Forget it, kid," Jiraiya says in shock. "If you can burn down an entire training ground, you're good enough in my book. I'll train you, kid." End flashback. "Do you mean to tell me you fought one of the legendary Sannin and won?" Sasuke asks, his eyes wide. "Yay, now I got to go." Naruto leaps off towards the hot springs. When he arrives, he sees Jiraiya peeking at girls Naruto's eyes and taps him on the shoulder. Jiraiya turns to Naruto and puts his pad back in his tool pouch, and then the two of them walk over to the recently repaired training ground 22. "Alright Naruto, progress and skill with seals is very impressive. Now I am going to teach you about seals for keeping Bijou locked up. Naruto, lift your shirt." Naruto grumbles and lifts the top part of his armor off and rolls up the muscle shirt beneath. "Now channel some chakra and I will start you lesson." Naruto nods and gathers chakra and the 8 tetragram seal appears on Naruto's stomach. "That's his seal," Naruto say, looking at Jiraiya. "Yes, and it's well written too," Jiraiya says. "Now as you know, Bijou are incredibly powerful, none more so than the 9 tails." "Damn straight," Kurama says. "The more tails a Bijou has, the harder it is to seal. The one tail is the easiest to seal, but a weak seal is very dangerous, as a Bijou will do everything in its power to release itself from the seal. Unless the Bijou likes the host, then it's a different story. Your seal is strong, it is a 4 on top of a 4 to make an 8. I wouldn't be surprised if that seal of yours could hold all 9 beasts." "Was Dad that great of a Fuinjutsu specialist?" Naruto wonders. "Compared to an Uzumaki, your father was just above apprentice and into the realm of adept, and that's one hell of an achievement. Anyway, there are an infinite amount of seals in this world that could contain a Bijou, but weakest seal I have ever heard of is the pentagram seal. While it's able to hold a Bijou, it's absolutely pathetic. It couldn't hold anything stronger than the one tail." Jiraiya takes out 4 ink bottles, a brush and some paper. "Now I am going to tell you about ink quality." Jiraiya points to the one on the far left. "This ink is stuff you would use for basic writing, which makes it very poor for sealing. This ink is very low quality and is rarely exposed to chakra, which is also another key factor in the quality of ink. The one next to it you can find in tool shops and is great for explosive tags and storage seals. This ink was exposed to chakra during production, but it could sit on shelves for weeks or even months on end, which depletes the chakra it was exposed to, so again not great for sealing, but if you have to use it you can." Jiraiya points to the third bottle. "This ink was extracted from a gigantic squid of towards the coast of Kumo and is exposed to high amounts of chakra on a daily basis, so it's high quality stuff." Jiraiya then points to the last bottle. "This ink is the highest quality you can get and can only be found in 2 places. The first is the Hichibi as a Bijou. Its chakra is really up there and the ink is comprised completely of chakra. As such, it could be used to seal up just about anything. The only other place you can find this quality of ink is a ninja octopus of the coast of the land of Whirlpool. It swims in chakra-rich water and everything it eats is exposed to this chakra, which is the reason for its high quality. Naruto nods. I know the host of the hit Chibi and I will send an order for some sealing ink. Alright Naruto, why don't you show me how you have progressed and make some chakra weights, plus you said you needed some. Naruto nods again and starts drawing mutable weight symbols on the wristbands and leg bands similar to Lee's. Then Naruto adds a chain seal so he can release them in case of emergency. Jiraiya looked at Naruto's work. Naruto hadn't just drawn the seals, he made it look like an art. Every stroke of the brush was flawless. Jiraiya remembered back when he watched Kushina make seals, it was like a thing of beauty. Nicely done Naruto, now put them on and add chakra to the first 3 levels. Naruto nods and puts the weights on and then starts adding chakra until the first 3 levels are activated. Wow, these are heavy. Naruto starts walking around as he tries to get used to the weight. Naruto, I don't want you to take off those weights ever. Alright Hirusenin. Naruto smiles, then he clapped his hands together. Wood style, 4 prison pillar jutsu. Damn it Naruto, stop calling me that. Jiraiya yells, growing a tick mark. Let me out of here. Never. Naruto says, walking off laughing as he goes. Naruto walks over to the Shinobi archives. When Naruto arrives at the archives, he shows the pass he keeps in his pockets. The Anbu outside nod and Naruto walked into the archive in an Anbu with a porcelain mask resembling a cat with 3 red stripes, 1 vertical stripe on the forehead and 2 horizontal stripes, 1 on each cheek. Good day Naruto. The Anbu says, good day Nico. Naruto smiles. What are you looking for today? Nico asks any non-classified information on Kakashi Hatake. Alright, follow me. Nico gets up and walks towards the section where Kakashi's information was stored. Here you go Naruto. Thank you Nico. Naruto looks at the file on Kakashi. Let's see here. Naruto reads some of the info. No aliases: Kakashi the copy ninja, Kakashi of the Sharingan Eye, Sensei, Minato Namikaze status, deceased, teammates, Obito Uchiha status, deceased, Rin no Her status, deceased, man poor guy to lose all his teammates, said to have copied over 1000 jutsu, oh that's useful. Ex-Anbu retired for unknown reasons, has never passed a single team due to failed expectations, oh that's bad, but nothing that Hinata, Sasuke and I can't handle. Favorite motto: in the ninja world, those who break the rules are trash. That's true, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash. So that was probably why he failed. His other students, they failed to work as a team, that's good to know. After Naruto gets all the information he could that wasn't classified, Naruto gets up and walks out. As he passes the front door, he waves to Nico. Good day Naruto, I trust you found everything you were looking for? Yes, I found everything I needed, thank you Nico, I will see you around. Naruto walks out. Naruto was walking the Konoha when he noticed a square rock following him down the street. Naruto gets an annoyed look on his face as he watches the rock from the corner of his eye. Naruto knows who is in that box. It's Konohamaru, the 3rd Hokage's grandson. Naruto smiles to himself as he remembers when he first met the overzealous brat. Flashback: Naruto was walking towards the Hokage tower for his ninja identification card photo. When Naruto arrives, he sees the Hokage and the photographer. Naruto stands there and the photographer takes the photo. Naruto, please show some emotion so I know you're still you. Sarutobi offers up a silent prayer. Let it never be said that Kami never answered Sarutobi's prayers. Naruto gets a wicked look in his eye, then puts his hands together in the ram symbol and transforms into a naked girl with blonde pigtails and huge boobs. Please don't stare at me like that, you're making me blush. Naruto says. That did it for Sarutobi, shot back with a huge nosebleed. Naruto transforms back laughing. Oh. Man, the look on your face priceless. Naruto sits down to laughing at Sarutobi. Damn it Naruto. Sarutobi gets backup tissues in his nose. Just then a small boy rushes in, with a shuriken in his hand. Old man, I challenge you. I'm going to defeat you and become the 5th Hokage. Then the boy trips on his scarf. My grandson, another headache. Just then a man with black glass and a blue outfit jumpsuit appears in the doorway. Something tripped me. Konohamaru yells. Are you okay, honorable grandson? By the way, there is nothing here to trip on, it's pretty flat. Ebisu says to Konohamaru. Konohamaru looks at Naruto. Just who is this squirt? Naruto thinks. Just then the man gasps as he sees Naruto. It's the kid. Ebisu starts glaring at Naruto. The 9-tailed fox, of course, he's the worst kind of troublemaker. Alright, you're the one who tripped me, aren't you? The boy yells. Naruto gets up and grabs Konohamaru by the scarf. You tripped over your own feet, moron. Hey, you take your hands off him right now. He is the honorable grandson of the honorable third Hokage. Ebisu says. He is? That stopped him just like all the rest. Now that he knows who I am, he won't dare lay a finger on me. Konohamaru thinks, smiling. What's the matter? I thought you were going to hit me, tough guy. Afraid cause the third Hokage is my grandfather. I don't care if he's your grandmother. Bane. Naruto slams his fist onto Konohamaru's skull. This guy's different. Konohamaru falls forward. Oh, this is a riot. Kurama starts laughing in Naruto's head. What is Kurama? Naruto asks. You inherited your mother's catchphrase. This isn't looking good. Sarutobi pinches his eyebrows. Listen carefully, you are the honorable grandson of the honorable third Hokage. You can't let riffraff like that draw you into a fight even though he dissevers it. Ebisu says. You see, he is far beneath you, you mustn't stoop to his level. You see, as your elite ninja trainer, I'm never wrong, which means I am always right. I am far above the other trainers, so heed my every word. Your goal is to become the next Hokage, and I can teach you the best way to do it. Indeed, due to my great skill I can take you quickly and easily to the top, but you must stay close to me. Ebisu turns to where Konohamaru is standing. You understand me, right, honorable grandson? Just as Ebisu looks, he sees that Konohamaru was standing and sees he is gone. Ebisu starts looking around, panicking. Where did he go now? I think he followed Naruto, but I have no idea where they're going. He with Naruto, that's a disaster. Ebisu runs off. Honorable grandson. How did he grow up to be like that? Sarutobi sighs. My grandson is quite determined. That was his 20th sneak attack today, and if he starts running around with Naruto he will get even worse. Naruto wouldn't teach him anything too bad, would he? Naruto is walking down the street when he senses a chakra source following him. That brat is following me, isn't he? Naruto asks his three guests. Yep. Kurama says. Uh-huh. Madara says in agreement. Hashirama responds. Maybe if I ignore him he will go away. Naruto ponders as he continues walking. After 5 minutes the boy is getting on Naruto's nerves. He spins around to see a ninja screen that looks like the fence, only it's sideways, and there is a gray helmet sticking over the top. Okay, I know you're following me, so just give it up. That is about the worst disguise I have ever seen. Naruto throws a lightning chakra enhanced kunai right next to the helmet. Oh crud. Konohamaru thinks. By the way, if I had really wanted to kill you, that kunai would have gone right thought your head. Saw through my disguise. The rumors about you are true, you're good. Konohamaru says, then he walks over and points at Naruto. Alright, I'll be your apprentice and you'll be my trainer. What the fuck? And afterward you got to show me that sexy jutsu thing you used on Grandpa Hokage. This is some kind of joke, isn't it? No, I need a new trainer, please boss. Boss? Yay, you're the boss, 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 boss. Well, why not? Bane. Naruto and Konohamaru walk off towards one of the training grounds. If you want to become a great shinobi you need to learn proper chakra control. Chakra control? Konohamaru looks confused. Yes, in order to properly utilize a jutsu you must learn control in order to prevent not only extreme exhaustion, but the jutsu from backfiring and failing. When they arrive at a girl's bathhouse Konohamaru looks shocked. How are we going to get in there? We're both boys. Konohamaru asks. Naruto places his hands together and transforms into Naruto, only completely different. Then he places his hand on Konohamaru's head and focus a genjutsu that on him that gives him the appearance of his sexy jutsu form in different clothing. I placed a genjutsu on you that has given you the appearance of a girl. It's very hard to detect, so just follow me and don't say anything. Once we go in there take a quick observation, then we leave and we speak of this to no one. Konohamaru nods and the two of them walk in, and after a few minutes they walk out and dispel the jutsu, then continue to the training grounds. When they arrive Naruto looks around ensuring that no one is around. Now before we begin I have 2 strict conditions for teaching you this jutsu. What are they, boss? 1. Never, and I mean never, use this jutsu around women or me. Konohamaru nods. Naruto cracks an evil smile. Condition 2 is, use this jutsu to make your grandpa's life a living hell. Yes sir. Konohamaru puts his hands together. Transform. Konohamaru transform into his first attempt. How's this? Naruto shakes his head. No go, you got to make her thinner. Thinner, right boss. Konohamaru transform again. How about this? Naruto shakes his head again. No, no, curvier. Curvier, right boss. Konohamaru transform again. How's that? Again. Naruto says. Yes sir. Naruto sits down looking at the sky. After a few hours Konohamaru runs up to Naruto. Boss, I did it. Alright Konohamaru, let's see it. Transform. Konohamaru transformed at his sexy jutsu form. Well done, you have mastered the sexy jutsu. Now we will take a break and then we will work on a chakra control exercise, and once you mastered that I am going to find something out about you, and depending on what I find out we will go from there. Naruto says, nodding at his apprentice. Right boss. Konohamaru says. Naruto and Konohamaru sit down along with some drinks. So what's this obsession you've got with your grandpa? Naruto asks. My grandpa named me Konohamaru after the ancient name of the village so it would be easy to remember, but no one calls me that, not one person in the whole village. But that's because when they look at me they don't see me, all they see is the honorable grandson of the Lord Hokage. No one who knows who I am. I can't stand it anymore. It's like I'm invisible. I hate that. That's why I have to become the Hokage now, so people know who I am. I am sorry to say this, but that's a stupid reason to become Hokage. Konohamaru looks shocked. A friend of mine once told me something I will never forget. Flashback: Naruto's second year of training. Naruto had just finished training himself to withstand Killer Intent, and he was training against Kurama. This was day 90 of Naruto's training against the Intent. At first Naruto was a mess, but now he was resisting quite well. Naruto was almost able to resist 30% of Kurama's Killer Intent. After the day's training, Naruto, Madara and Hashirama are sitting in a circle. So Naruto, why do you want to become Hokage? Hashirama asks. So that way the whole village won't see me as just the fox but as a person, then the whole village will acknowledge my existence. Madara starts laughing. Even I haven't been a Kage and I know that's a stupid reason for trying to be one. Well, I wouldn't have put so bluntly. Hashirama says. But Madara is right. Hashirama smiles. People don't get acknowledged because they are Hokage, rather acknowledged people become Hokage. However, the true definition of Hokage is someone who will lay down their lives for his comrades and will struggle on until the very end to protect his home, and those who burn with the will of fire. The same holds true for all the villages, well except the will of fire part. End flashback within flashback. I am going to tell you what he told me. People don't get acknowledged because they are Hokage, rather acknowledged people become Hokage. However, the true definition of Hokage is someone who will lay down their lives for his comrades and will struggle on until the very end to protect his home, and those who burn with the will of fire. That is what my friend told me, and he is right. However, there is one more thing you will need to do before you become the Hokage. What? What is it? You're going to have to beat me in battle. Konohamaru smiles at Naruto. Just then Ebisu lands on a tree branch above them. I found you. Ebisu glares at Naruto with an ice-cold look. The nine-tailed fox. There's that damn look again. I swear if he continues to look at me like that I'm going to kill him. So honorable grandson, time to go home. No way, I'm learning how to beat my grandfather too. I can get the title Hokage now, get out of my way. A Hokage is more than just a fighter. He must know virtue, honor, wisdom, and must be skilled at 1000 jutsu. You don't even know one. Transform. Konohamaru transforms into his sexy jutsu form. Hi there, like my jutsu? Ebisu's jaw drops. Hey, he isn't defeated. WHWHWH, what kind of scandalous technique is that? Such a vulgar technique can never influence me. I am far above it. Vulgar or not, it's funny, and I will not let this guy treat me like dirt. Naruto glares at Ebisu and Naruto clenches his fists. Honorable grandson, stop this. Right now. Naruto's turning you into a delinquent. Only my special training can put you on the fast track to becoming Hokage. Just leave me alone. Konohamaru shouts. That's it. Naruto roars. Ebisu looks over at Naruto, then Ebisu's jaw drops at the sheer chakra Naruto is molding. Ebisu look into Naruto's eyes and Naruto smiles, then his eyes emit a small amount of chakra and then Ebisu has spikes driven through his limbs. Genjutsu. Ebisu lifts his arms to dispel the jutsu but finds the spikes are taking away his body's freedom. How can this be? This genjutsu shouldn't be causing me physical pain? You're trapped, Ebisu. Even if you break free, I have a little surprise. Naruto creates the cross seal. Shadow clone jutsu. Ebisu eventually raises his hands in the ram seal. R release. When Ebisu sees all the clones. Bitch please, I'm a Jounin, an elite ninja, not a lightweight like Mizuki. Such a trick will never work on me. Care to test your luck? Naruto smiles evilly. Ebisu charges in, ready to rip Naruto a new one for messing with his student, but then all the clones make the same hand sign. Transform. Every clone says simultaneously and they are enveloped in a cloud of smoke. When the smoke clears, the clones have changed to Naruto. Ebisu rockets back with a huge nosebleed. Got you with my harem jutsu. Naruto laughs. That was so cool, boss. Konohamaru says, stars in his eyes. Sarutobi had been following Naruto's exploits with his grandson. He combined the shadow clone jutsu with his own invention, the sexy jutsu. How moronic. Sarutobi sits back in his chair with a small blush. However, he could probably get me with that jutsu too. That's how it's done. Naruto smiles at Konohamaru. Alright, now for your next exercise. Naruto walks Konohamaru to a tree and points to it. Climb. Konohamaru looks at Naruto as if he is crazy. I can climb trees just fine, thank you. Then show me, but there is a catch, you can't use your hands. How am I supposed to do that? Watch and learn. Naruto runs at the tree, channeling chakra to his feet. When his foot makes contact with the tree, Naruto pushes off the ground and starts running up the tree. When Naruto reaches the top, he jumps off and lands on the ground with a thud. Oh my god, how did you do that? Konohamaru asks. I channel my chakra into my feet, but to ensure I stick I must use the right amount. Too much and I blast off the tree, too little and I won't stick. This is a basic chakra control exercise, but it's necessary for a ninja to learn proper control to perform jutsu properly. Now climb. Naruto barks. Konohamaru's eyes widen in fear and he starts running at the tree to perform the exercise. After hours of trying, Konohamaru had made it halfway up the tree. Nicely done, Konohamaru, but that's enough for today. Go home and get some sleep. Keep practicing your control. Naruto says to Konohamaru, smiling. Yes sir, but I'm not your apprentice anymore. Naruto looks confused. Cause now we're rivals for the title of Hokage. Konohamaru smiles at Naruto. That we are, Konohamaru. Then an idea strikes Naruto and he grabs Konohamaru's shoulder. Before we go, I need you to do something for me. What? Naruto reaches into his back pocket and pulls out a small piece of paper and hands it to Konohamaru. Channel your chakra into this paper. I want to find out your affinity, so you work towards it. Alright, but how will we know what my affinity is? This paper was made from a tree that was exposed and will react to even the slightest hint of chakra. Do you know what the 5 affinities for chakra are? Yay, fire, water, earth, lightning, and wind. Naruto nods. Very good, now every shinobi has affinities for jutsu. Now watch what happens when you channel chakra into this paper. Right boss. Konohamaru focuses his chakra into the paper. After a few seconds the paper splits in half and bursts into flames. What happened? Konohamaru looks confused. You have 2 affinities, which is rare for anyone below Jounin to have. Your affinities are wind and fire, which is a good combination to have. It is? Konohamaru asks. Yes, think of it this way, if you pump wind into a fire, what happens to it? It gets bigger. Exactly, any wind-style jutsu you cast will amplify a fire jutsu that a friend or foe uses, so best of luck to you learning to wield those affinities. I have to go. Naruto starts walking off when a thought strikes him. Konohamaru, I want you to promise me something. What boss? Konohamaru asks. Don't go spreading rumors about me or my abilities. I want to keep my abilities a secret as long as possible. Yes sir, Konohamaru says, saluting. He's a good kid. Naruto thinks to himself as he walks away. End flashback. Konohamaru, what did I tell you about disguises? Naruto says to the rock. Darn it, how am I going to get the drop on you if you keep seeing through my disguises? The rock says, then it explodes in different colors of smoke. 3 shapes appear in the smoke. Too much gunpowder. The leftmost shape turns to the others. This voice sounds male. You think? The rightmost shape replies sarcastically. This voice sounds female. Guys, calm down, we got make a good impression on the boss. Konohamaru's voice calls out from the center. So Konohamaru, I have brought these 2 with you? Naruto asks as he raises an eyebrow. I've been telling them all about you and they want to learn from you too. That's right, says Udon as he sniffles to try and clear his nose. Konohamaru says, you're really strong. Moegi says. Naruto looks at Konohamaru, his arms crossed. What did I tell you about spreading rumors about my abilities, Konohamaru? Naruto says as he glares at Konohamaru, who starts sweating bullets. I didn't say anything, all I said was that you're really strong and you live with Hyuga. Konohamaru says. That better be it, Konohamaru, or I will make you wear chakra weights for a month, Naruto threatened. So what did you want? I want to show you something. What did you want to show me? Naruto asks apprehensively. I mastered that chakra control exercise you showed me. Naruto's eyes widen a little. Very good, Konohamaru. Naruto smiles. I also wanted to ask you something. Alright, shoot. Could you teach Moegi and Udon that exercise? Konohamaru, if they are your friends you should teach them that. Sasuke, Hinata and I got so close. Alright boss, I will. Konohamaru says. I have something for you, Konohamaru. What? A fire jutsu that I want you to practice. I get to learn a fire jutsu. Konohamaru starts jumping around. Naruto grows a tick mark and slams his fist into Konohamaru's head. Pay attention. Obey. Naruto snaps. Konohamaru stops jumping around and looks at Naruto. Follow me, we're going to a training ground. Yes sir, the Konohamaru squad says simultaneously. Then the four of them walks towards training ground 12. When they arrive at the training ground, Naruto turns to the three of them and says, Konohamaru, show them the tree climbing exercise, and then when they start working on it I will show you the jutsu I am going to teach you. Konohamaru nods and walks over some of the trees with his friends. Alright Moegi, Udon, I am going to show you a chakra control exercise that the boss showed me. Konohamaru says, and then he channels chakra into his feet and runs at the tree and starts running up it, then stops halfway up. This exercise relies on control. If you put too little chakra to your feet you slide off. Konohamaru has the chakra in his feet and he starts sliding off. But too much and you blast off the tree. Konohamaru triples the chakra in his feet and an imprint of his foot and he rockets off the tree. If I were you I would mark my progress with a kunai because that's what I did and I managed to get it in a few days. Right. Moegi and Udon say simultaneously. Get to work. Konohamaru says. Moegi and Udon nod and they start running at the tree, channeling chakra to their feet. Konohamaru looks at Naruto, looking at him smiling. Alright Konohamaru, this jutsu is called Fireball Jutsu. The hand signs are as follows: tiger, monkey, boar, horse, tiger. Naruto performs the hand signs and inhales. Fire style, Fireball Jutsu. Naruto exhales a gigantic fireball the size of a house and roars over the lake. Konohamaru looks in shock at the sheer power of the jutsu, then he turns to Naruto. Naruto-ni-san, how much chakra did you put into that? Konohamaru asks. Not too much, you obviously didn't do much research into your nature type. Naruto says. Konohamaru hangs his head in shame. It's alright Konohamaru, let me put it simply, depending on your affinity certain jutsu will come more naturally than others. For example, your affinity is fire, therefore fire jutsu will be quite easy. However, your weakness is water, meaning for you to effectively use a water jutsu you would need to put twice as much chakra into it. Konohamaru listens with rapt attention. So what's your affinity, Naruto-ni-san? I'll show you. Naruto reaches into his ninja pouch and pulls out another piece of chakra paper, then Naruto channels his chakra into the paper splits into 8 pieces, one bursts into flames, another gets soaked, the third crinkles into a little ball, the fourth crumple to fine powder. The fifth turns blue, the sixth turns red, on the seventh the colors red and blue collide creating a bug, and the last turns to wood. What does that mean, Ni-san? Konohamaru asks, confused, pointed at the 4 different ones. Well, I have an high affinity for the 5 basic nature transformations, but the last 4 are Kekkei Genkai, the blue represents yang, the red represents yin, the bug was yin yang or creation of all things, the last should be pretty obvious, the wood style of the first Hokage. You have the first Hokage's wood style? Konohamaru looks at Naruto in shock. Yes, now perform that fire jutsu. Naruto says. Konohamaru nods and starts weaving the hand signs: tiger, monkey, boar, horse, tiger. Fire style, Fireball Jutsu. Konohamaru exhales a fireball the size of a boulder, and then he drops to the ground breathing hard. Why am I so exhausted, Ni-san? I thought my affinity was fire. I forgot that fire style jutsu is one of the more chakra heavy jutsu. You are fortunate that your affinity is fire, or the jutsu would have put you in the hospital for chakra exhaustion. Naruto says. Just then a plume of smoke erupts behind them and Iruka emerges and he doesn't look happy. Konohamaru, Moegi, Udon. Iruka shouts. You 3 are supposed to be in class. Then Iruka notices Naruto. Hey Iruka-sensei. Naruto waves. Oh hey Naruto. I didn't know these 3 had class, I was just teaching them a few chakra control exercise. Naruto's face turns stern. However, that's no excuse for skipping class. I didn't get as strong as I am by skipping class. Moegi, Udon, get down here now. Moegi and Udon jump down from where they were on their tree. Naruto, what were you teaching them? Iruka asks. Tree climbing exercise to help them work on chakra control. Then an idea strikes Naruto. Iruka-sensei, you should start teaching the kids chakra control exercises as it's an essential part of shinobi training. I would Naruto if the curriculum allowed it, unfortunately it doesn't. You always did lectures on chakra control, so why don't you just show them instead of lecturing on it? That's a good point. Naruto. Kids these days tend to learn better from example than a simple boring drawl. If the civilian council yells at you, bring it up with the Hokage. I'm sure he would support it. Alright Naruto, now if you excuse me, I need to tie up these 3 hooligans. Good luck Konohamaru. Naruto smiles at Konohamaru, then walks back towards the Hyuga clan compound. When he arrived, he saw Hinata and the rest of the Hyuga family in the dojo while Hanabi and Yuki sparred against one another, spearing to keep up their strength. Naruto-kun. Hinata says as she walks over and hugs him. Hey Hinata-chan. Naruto smiles at his girlfriend. What did you find out about the test tomorrow? Kakashi will be 3 hours late to pretty much everything, which means he will arrive at 10 AM tomorrow at the training ground, so we have 3 hours to plan out a strategy when Sasuke arrives. Alright Naruto-kun, did you find out? Kakashi has a Sharingan and he was an ex-Anbu. He is said to have copied 1000 jutsu. Hinata's eyes widen in shock. We will need to work with Sasuke to neutralize his Sharingan. Anyway, we should get some sleep, we're going to need it. Good night Naruto-kun. Good night Hinata-chan. The two of them go to their separate bedrooms and lie down and fall asleep. To all those who have experienced confusion about a random civilian using ninjutsu, he is an ex-Anbu who was dishonorably discharged. To the guest who keeps reviewing with supered history, could you please explain what that means or stop, and if this man is being a troll then it's not working. Chapter 10, The Bell Test. The next morning the 3 members of Team 7 arrive at 6 o'clock and sit in a circle looking at one another. Alright Naruto, what did you learn about Kakashi? Sasuke asks. Kakashi is an ex-Anbu and has the Sharingan. Naruto says, rubbing his eyes. Sasuke's eyes widen in shock. He is an Uchiha. No, he isn't, his eye is transplanted. Which means that he can't deactivate it, right? Naruto asks. Yes, transplanted Sharingans can't be deactivated unless it's transplanted into another Uchiha. Sasuke says. Which means that he had covered up had the Sharingan behind it. Hinata says, adding her 2 cents. Yes, now with that eye covered, its powers can't be activated. It's like my eyes right now. Even though I have unlocked my Sharingan, I haven't activated it as such. If we were under a genjutsu right now, I wouldn't know. Naruto's eyes widen and a smile breaks Naruto's face. I have a plan. First things first though, the true point of this test is teamwork, so whatever he tells us we need to work together as a team. Naruto says, looking at his teammates. Alright, what's your plan? Sasuke asks. I will trap him in a genjutsu, then engage him in battle. I will act the part of the fool, but when I use my great fire annihilation against him is when I've dropped the genjutsu. That's when Sasuke leaps in and we engage him 2-on-1. Hinata, when an opening presents itself, strike with Juken and close as many chakra points as you can. Solid plan Naruto, but what happens if Kakashi reveals his Sharingan? Sasuke asks. If he reveals his Sharingan, we need to just bounce around him and make him use it as much as possible. Good idea Naruto, if you have a transplanted Sharingan you waste a lot of chakra. Naruto reaches into his pocket and pulls out a sealing scroll and unseals some food, enough for the 3 of them. Naruto, I didn't know you could cook. Hinata says, yay, Hikari-san taught me. Now let's enjoy our breakfast. Naruto says, motioning to the food. Hinata and Sasuke pick up forks and dig in the waffles, pancakes and other foods that Naruto had prepared. After 3 hours Kakashi arrived with his signature eye smile. Yo! Kakashi says. You're late. Naruto glares at him. Sorry, but a black cat crossed my path and I had to take the careful way around. Where? Hinata says flatly. Well, now that we're all here, let me tell you the point of today's exercise. Kakashi pulls out 2 bells and dangles them. The clocks say 9 o'clock, you have until noon, get these bells from me. Whoever doesn't get a bell goes back to the academy. But Kakashi-sensei, there's only 2 bells. Hinata says, nicely observed Hinata, no matter what, one of you will go back to the academy. Kakashi says. Naruto makes eye contact with Kakashi, beginning the first part of his plan and casting the genjutsu on Kakashi. Also, whoever doesn't get a bell doesn't get to eat lunch, the others get to eat it in front of him or her. But if none of you get the bell, I will try all of you up to the posts and eat lunch in front of you. Kakashi listens for the sound of growling stomachs, but to his surprise he doesn't hear any. When do we begin? Sasuke asks. Now. Kakashi says, then Sasuke and Hinata disappear into the forest around them. However, Naruto stands there. Kakashi pulls out his Make-Out Paradise book and starts reading. Give me the damn bells. Bane. Naruto screamed as he leapt from a tree with his kunai pointed straight at Kakashi's head. Kakashi blocked the kunai lazily, continuing to read a book. "Make me," Kakashi says, and blocked Naruto's kunai as he swung at Kakashi again. The kunai crashed onto Kakashi's metal plate on his glove, and the gray-haired ninja rolled his wrist to the side and grabbed Naruto's wrist, then twisted the blonde's arm back behind the boy's back and tightened his grip so Naruto's hand loosened his grip on the kunai. Kakashi then grabbed the kunai, flipped it and threw it at a nearby bush. Rotation. They heard Hinata's voice exclaim, and the kunai came hurling back at them. Kakashi leaned back and let it whiz past him, hitting a tree, which then puffed into Sasuke. Sasuke fell to the ground and clutched the kunai sticking into his shoulder. "Congratulations Naruto, you single-handedly revealed your teammates' positions. I honestly thought the wielder of the first Hokage's wood style would be stronger than this. You think I'm weak? I'll show you power." Naruto rushes in using his Dragon Interceptor style to attack, which Kakashi was hard-pressed to block, but in the end he knocked Naruto to the ground. "While I admit that you have some talent Naruto, you're nothing compared to me. I guess your powers were just stories," Kakashi says, disappointed. "You're good Kakashi, but I have to ask you something." "What's that Naruto?" "What would you do if I told you that none of this had ever happened? Are you saying that you placed a genjutsu on me?" Kakashi looks at Naruto suspiciously. "Maybe, maybe not," Naruto says, then brings his hands together in the ram. Then slams his hands into horse. "Genin can't use fire style, it costs too much." "Chakra." Then Kakashi remembers who he is dealing with. "Fire style, great fire annihilation." Naruto exhales the blast of fire at Kakashi. Hinata and Sasuke notice Naruto blast Kakashi with great fire annihilation. The genjutsu is released. Hinata and Sasuke think simultaneously. Sasuke rushes in and nods to Naruto, and both engage Kakashi in a taijutsu battle. Kakashi's eye widens in shock at Naruto and Sasuke's teamwork. He planned this, Naruto planned everything. The genjutsu was just a distraction. Sasuke starts weaving hand signs. Fire style, Dragon Flame Jutsu. Sasuke roars, exhaling a stream of fire. Wind style, Great Breakthrough. Naruto exhales a huge blast of wind. Ninja art, Wind and Fire collaboration, Dragon Fire Breakthrough. Sasuke and Naruto shout. The wind and fire combine cause the fire to spread almost as wide as the entire training ground. Kakashi jumps back to avoid the blast of flame, and then he lands on the ground when he hears something that nearly stops his heart. 8 trigrams 32 bombs. Hinata's voice says from behind Kakashi. 8 trigrams, 2 points. Hinata strikes to chakra points on Kakashi's body. 4 points. 8 points. 16 points. 8 trigrams 32 points. Kakashi is sent forward from the blow. "Damn it, she shut down half my chakra system. If I guess I have no choice." Kakashi reaches for his headband and reveals his Sharingan. Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke look at one another, and Sasuke activates his Sharingan, then Naruto slams his hands together. Wood-style forest destruction. Suddenly the ground below Kakashi springs to life, sprouting trees and branches left, right and center. So this is the wood style of the first Hokage. Sasuke thinks as he watches in awe. "Sasuke now!" Naruto shouts. Sasuke nods and starts making hand signs. Fire style, Dragon Flame Jutsu. Sasuke exhales the blast of fire at the wooden prison Kakashi was encased in. Kakashi used a substitution to escape being burned alive. He started panting from chakra exertion but still managed to use his headhunter jutsu. Where did he go? "Maji formation!" Naruto exclaims. Watch each other's blind spots. Sasuke and Hinata nod and fall into the formation. "He isn't above us." Sasuke scans the area. "He isn't anywhere near us, so where is he?" "Below us." Hinata yells. The three of them jump away as Kakashi emerges from the ground. Kakashi starts weaving hand signs. Fire style, Dragon Flame Bombs. Kakashi roars as a jet of fire blasts from Kakashi's mouth. As the three of them had just landed and are in no position to counter, Hinata and Sasuke closed their eyes and waited for the inevitable. The pain of fire burning their skin never came. Instead they saw Naruto standing in front of them, his hands outstretched blocking the technique. "Naruto!" Hinata yells out in fear, but to her surprise Naruto isn't getting burned, and upon closer inspection with her Byakugan she sees that the chakra behind the attack is disappearing and the fire dies down. What the hell is going on? How did Naruto block my attack? You would be proud of Naruto, Minato-sensei. Not only did he jump in the way of an attack to save his comrades, but he's put his life on the line to protect his friends. Kakashi thinks as he watches the events before him unfold. That's Naruto's power to absorb chakra. He used one of his 6 paths to save us. Sasuke thinks in awe as he watches the legendary power of the Sage of the Six Paths. I won't let those precious to me die. Naruto thinks, standing before Hijutsu as he absorbs it. After a few seconds the fire vanishes and nothing remains of the jutsu. How is Naruto this powerful? Kakashi asks himself. Naruto, you really are like the Sage of the Six Paths. He put his life on the line to save this world just as you put your life on the line to save your friends. Kurama says, his voice glowing with pride. Naruto, you have a burning will of fire that will carry you down the path of peace. Hashirama says. I have faith that my own twisted creation will fail because you walk this earth, Naruto. Madara says. Sasuke, Hinata, you guys okay? Naruto asks. Yay. Sasuke says. Thanks for the save. I'm okay, Naruto-kun. Hinata says. We need to strike now. Naruto says. Sasuke and Hinata nod and simultaneously they start weaving hand signs. Water style, giant water vortex jutsu. Hinata shouts, a huge torrent of water blasts from the lake by the training ground and rockets towards Kakashi. Wind style, great breakthrough. Sasuke says, exhaling a huge gust of wind as Naruto did for their wind-fire combination. Lightning style, electromagnetic murder. Naruto shouts using the jutsu that the Cloud Ninja used against him the night Hinata was kidnapped. Ninja art, wind, fire and lightning collaboration, Tempest Storm. Naruto, Hinata and Sasuke shout simultaneously. Oh shit. Kakashi's eyes widen as the blast of water, wind and lightning blasts his way. They really know how to work together. Kakashi jumps out of the way of the huge blast. Universal pull. Naruto says, calmly holding out his hand. Well, fuck in a bucket. Kakashi thinks as he is pulled forward towards Naruto. I think we win, Kakashi-sensei. Sasuke says as Kakashi floats in front of, unable to control himself. Naruto grabs one bell, but before Sasuke can grab his, Kakashi uses a substitution to escape. That was close, I almost lost, but now I have to be careful and on my guard at all times. I can't let Naruto or any of them catch me off guard. Then he notices Sasuke disappeared. Where the heck did Sasuke go? Kakashi murmurs to himself. Right behind you. Sasuke grabs the bell then kicks Kakashi towards his teammates. I guess Hinata is going back to the academy. No, she isn't. Naruto says and he hands the bell to her. We told you before, Kakashi, if we fail then we fail as a team. Sasuke says. Not one of us is willing to abandon our comrades. Hinata says as she, Naruto and Sasuke stand in front of Kakashi. So you're all willing to go back to the academy for the sake of your friends? Kakashi asks. Yes. Naruto responds without a doubt. Sasuke says. Without the slightest hesitation or regret. Hinata glares at Kakashi. In that case you all pass. Kakashi smiles at them and lowers his headband. How did you all have this much energy? We ate breakfast. Naruto smiles deviously. Kakashi sweat drops at this. You disobeyed my orders and ate anyway. You didn't order us not to eat lunch, you just recommended it, and we don't take bad advice. Hinata says, smiling at Kakashi. Anyway, you all passed now. If you excuse me, I need to go report the outcome to Lord Hokage. Kakashi grimaces and thinks, and pull the splinters out of my ass. Then he shines off to his house. We did it. Naruto and Hinata hug each other, spinning in circles laughing. Are you quite done, Naruto, Hinata? Sasuke asks, rubbing his temples. Jealous? Naruto asks smugly. No. Sasuke blushes then turns his head. Okay, maybe a little. Don't worry, Sasuke, I'm sure you'll find someone. Hinata says as she smiles at Sasuke reassuringly. Yay, after all, who wouldn't want to be with the last Uchiha? I bet there are girls are dying to get with you. Naruto say, laughing, patting Sasuke on the back. The Jounin should be arriving any second now. Sarutobi thinks, sorting through his paperwork. Just then 8 Jounin shine in and bow to the Hokage. Report. Sarutobi says. Team 1, failed and horribly at that. One Jounin says, looking shameful at the thought of the team. Team 2, failed, these girls are a disgrace to Kunoichi everywhere. A female Jounin says, looking ashamed. Team 3, failed. A third Jounin says. Team 4, failed. The fourth Jounin says. Team 5 failed. The fifth Jounin says. The sixth steps forward. Team 6 failed. The sixth Jounin says. Kakashi isn't here, so we will move on to Kurenai. Sarutobi says. Teammate passed but barely. I had my team track me and I heard her coming a mile away screeching and whining. She wasn't on Sasuke-kun's team and I could tell when she was trying to sneak up me because of that stupid perfume that she wears, which by the way smells horrible. To give her some credit, she and her team were making use of her natural loudness to sneak up on me. However, Kiba and Shino show some interesting Kekkei Genkai that intrigued me. At one point he and Akamaru used their Fang over Fang, which I dodged, but when I went to counter-attack he and Akamaru turned to iron but were just as flexible. Everyone gasped at this bloodline as it only emerged in Inuzuka destined for greatness. The last Inuzuka that had this bloodline went toe-to-toe with Kisame Hoshigaki of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist and won. And Shino's bloodline? On top of the regular parasitic insects, Shino had Shikaro's venomous nano-insects, which surprised even Shino himself, as well as fireflies that he used to blind me and cause the success of him and his team. Just then Kakashi shines in with his eye smile. "Sorry I'm late, I had to go home and pull splinters out of my ass," Kakashi says and grimaces at the memory of the ass kicking he received courtesy of his team. "That actually sounds plausible," Kurenai says, looking suspiciously at Kakashi. "That's because it's the truth," Kakashi says. Then Sarutobi coughs, gaining everyone's attention. "How did Team 7 do?" Sarutobi asks, silently praying his segregate grandson passed. "Team 7 passed with flying colors," Kakashi says, shocking everyone. "What happened?" Asuma asks. "Well, from the very beginning Naruto had placed a genjutsu on me and I didn't even realize until Naruto used Grand Fire Annihilation on me. That is when Sasuke jumped in and the two of them engaged me in a taijutsu battle, then used a collaboration ninjutsu with wind and fire to force me towards where Hinata was waiting to strike and hit me with 8 trigrams 32 palms and shut down half my chakra network, and I needed to reveal my Sharingan and they even had a plan for that. They hit me with a 3-element combination they called Tempest Storm with wind, water and lightning style. Then Naruto used something called Universal Pull, which, as its name suggests, pulled me towards him, which allowed him to take one of the bells from me. Then Sasuke vanished, grabbed the last bell, then kicked me towards Naruto and Hinata. But here is where the real kicker comes in. Naruto handed his bell to Hinata, then the three of them tell me that they were all willing to return the academy for each other, so I passed them." Kakashi finished. Everyone stares in shock at Kakashi, then Sarutobi asks, "Alright Asuma, how did Team 10 do?" "Team 10 passed with flying colors. They are just like their parents. Their teamwork was flawless. However, Shikamaru inherited his father's laziness and Choji is soft, but I sense a lot of potential in him. Ino seems to be the leader of the three, as she constantly would kick the other two into shape. Overall, I am proud to say Team 10 is ready for action," Asuma says, smiling. "Alright, have Teams 7, 8 and 10 come in tomorrow morning for missions," Sarutobi says. Dismissed. The Jounin bow and Sunshine out, Sarutobi goes back to his paperwork, shaking his head at the sheer amount of paperwork he had to put up with these days. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my other social media accounts. Anime God here, and I'm signing off.